Well, Millennial, we are live to
I heard you the first two times.
Married at First Sight, Season 12.
We know it's season 12.
Okay.
We know what we're here to discuss.
Mm-hmm. What are we here to discuss?
You know? I'm not.
You're not playing with me today?
No.
Why aren't you playing with me today? I do know. But, okay. So we will wait for people to come in, make it do what it do for our live today and talk about everything that's been going on lately. What's on people's minds? What's on the show? Of course, is it the Chris and Paige show this season, or is it Married at First Sight? Is it Love and Hip Hop, the new do, or what is it? I don't know what's happening. But either way, it's a mess this season. And we are here to talk about it with you all. If you're ready to join. So we'll wait a few minutes, wait for everybody to come in, and we'll go from there. The StreamYard link is dropped in the chat for anybody who wants to join to talk about your thoughts, your feelings, whatever you want to talk about. So we'll wait a few more minutes for people to come on in and join us. What time? 8:00. What is it? 8:17 East Coast, 5:00 West Coast time. Not too bad. Hopefully it's not too late for some of you. Or do you go to bed at 10 o'clock sharp like Ryan? So either way, we're waiting on you. All right, we have a few more people joining. Thank you. We'll get started shortly. We'll get started shortly.
You're so awkward.
So what? It's not awkward. Wait, I'm just having small talk.
It is awkward.
Okay.
Just a tad bit. So just starting off,
Turn
how
yours
did
down.
you feel about the episode? Just to begin, how did you feel about it?
I think it was a filler episode, like I mentioned. I really think, the weddings. Hey Tamar, the talking to the not the family and friends, but like the dress shopping, the tuck shopping, and then the coming home and moving into the apartments. I think those are filler episodes because we need to see them get settled in and then bring a counselor in. But this episode, again, unfortunately, was the Paige and Chris show. I mean,
Not necessarily.
Well, there was a lot of people. Well, the other couples had lots of cracks in it too, but this episode, like I said, it was mainly a filler to the end. That's how I look at it.
I don't think it was a filler episode. I think this episode was needed because you want to see how the couples transition into these new apartments and also what their apartments look like beforehand because we really don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of interesting to see, especially Ryan.
Oh, you mean their own individual places?
Yeah, their own individual places.
Oh, I thought you meant their general apartments. I'm like, I don't care what their general neutral apartments look like. What do I care for?
Because they're going to be living there. They're living quarters and stuff.
Well, I'm sure they would be nice because I don't think the experts would put them in anything that wasn't nice and decent.
It's true. So let's just go ahead and start off. Who do you want to start off with? Do you want to start off with the most talked about person, Chris, or do you want to go on someone a little bit light for right now?
Of course, let's start light for right now because, that Chris is always the biggest topic. So it's probably going to lead to more conversation. Hi from Chicago, Trisha.
Oh, you seen Chris in Chicago?
Ooh, there's lots of people. Chris, Tyrese, all kind of people. That's Love Up the Lockup. I do. So we can start on Haley and Jacob. Hey, Ramel.
What did you think about Haley and Jacob?
Haley and Jacob, you know what? I think Haley wasn't honest this episode or just the thing she was saying to Cal.
Honest about her feelings?
No, I think she's honest about her feelings. I don't think she was honest about what was actually happening at the honeymoon and then when they came home, because I think it was a big misunderstanding that was blown out of proportion. And I think she's so used to maybe getting her own way that she manipulated the situation to make it seem like it was all Jacob's fault, even though she went downstairs, regardless if she texted him or he didn't get it. Still, she walked away. Something happened where there was no communication, because look how it was when they came in the room. So again,
Well, we know what happened. Haley said that he came down, rushed her, and accused her of having a boyfriend back home because they weren't vibing or connecting like they used to.
Well, what do you mean used to? I mean, they'd only technically
In
known
the
each other.
first few days. That's what
It's still the first few days. It's still like 7 days. I don't think they were vibing at all. And Ramel, our day was fine. Your day was long. Well, you made it, so
well,
that's
your
good.
day was fine. I just got home.
Well, just because I work from home don't mean my day wasn't long, because it was. Work is still work. But
I just got home, driving long hours.
A long distance, but whatever the case may be. I still think, back to Haley and Jacob, I still think she manipulated conversation to make it seem like it was all Jacob's fault. Because you know what? I think Haley should apologize as well for having also miscommunication. Now, he didn't have to come out the woodwork with the name calling and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't actually.
Well, then you asked, and that's the reason why we have a difference of opinion.
I don't think Haley was wrong like that. I mean, Haley seemed, I guess she said that she was trying or whatever, but Jacob just took it a little bit too extra because he, I guess, has been hurt in the past before and hasn't been married and all this other stuff, so he doesn't really know how to navigate it. So him just finding anything to pick out because she's not moving at his pace, that's no excuse. So Jacob, he still gets a side eye, Mr. Steak and Eggs.
Nah, I disagree with that. We're gonna have to agree to disagree, because you know what? You're strangers. You still don't know each other. Bottom line is, there was a miscommunication. And I think Haley opened that door to miscommunication to have Jacob even be triggered from his past, even though it wasn't right, about what happened. So she has played a role in that as well.
So what has Jacob done?
I just said she opened the door to the miscommunication.
Okay,
and Jacob,
how did she open the door? What did Jacob do? So Jacob didn't do anything?
I said Jacob played a role in the way he responded in the name calling. So yes, she opened that door. He responded the way he did based on his past relationships. It was overall miscommunication, because when they came home, she's like, oh, I'll be sitting up here on the airplane, this and that. She looked like she having a good time sitting apart. So if they really want to have a communication, meaning Haley, she could have that in the room instead of packing, in silence. Or even in the morning when they left, they could have maybe had a little conversation then, because Jacob seemed like he was still receptive to talk to her. And that's just it for me.
Did it really seem like he was receptive? Or did it seem like he just wanted his point to be out and called Haley having her BS reality? Because that's what I remember.
Well, the BS reality, because again, they didn't have that conversation on the way home, on the airplane when they made it. So tensions were still boiling over when they got to the apartment, because neither one were speaking. So again, the communication wasn't there.
I don't know. I think it falls more on Jacob than Haley.
No, I disagree.
I don't even see how you could see Jacob's side like that.
Like I said, I disagree. I 100% disagree.
I don't know. Oh, that's okay, Romeo. You can join in next time. And
next time.
About your book and all that stuff like that. So do you see any more problems coming for Jacob and Haley?
Hi, Happy Mood. I do, because once again, they right now don't communicate well. And Haley said that she wasn't attracted to him even more from the things he was saying. You weren't attracted, as far as I'm concerned, from the beginning anyways. There wasn't that connection. So, you kind of viewed him as in the friend zone. And again, there was no sparkle or twinkle in the eye. So I just think that they have to learn to communicate. Well,
they are snooze fest. But you know what? Even though I don't like boring couples, I'm kind of happy we have a little bit of a boring couple, because the Chris and Paige saga that we'll eventually get to soon, it'll probably be like sooner than later. It's just too much.
See, Happy Mood says, I think Jacob will pull back. I agree, Happy Mood. I do. Shay Antoinette says, I was here for Jacob's energy. She didn't accept any responsibility. Absolutely did not accept any responsibility. Haley didn't. Because it takes two to tango.
So what should Haley apologize for? I'm confused.
Chris is overshadowing. You mean Jacob, Happy Mood? What she should apologize? I don't know how many times I can say this.
I need you to say it one more time because I don't think I heard you properly.
Okay. For her part in opening that door for the miscommunication to happen, because whether she texted him or not, clearly he didn't get the text because he just so happened to go downstairs. Maybe she was out a little long and she happened to be there. And that's her story. So their stories don't match up. So clearly someone, right, Ramel, someone is not telling the truth. And I think it's Haley. I honestly think it's Haley. I think Haley is pulling a manipulation thing as in, not as much as Chris, but yeah, exactly. She's creating insecurities.
I don't know. I don't see it. Not yet. It was going to take me a few more episodes to see something if it really happens. But I don't see it with them. So let's move on to them. What about Ryan and Claire?
You started off. I started Haley and Jacob. You start them off.
No, I want to hear what you think on Ryan and Claire because you're on a roll right now.
I am on a roll, but that's normally how I am off filming, But anyways, Ryan and Clara, to me, I still think Ryan is boring, but he's trying to open up a little bit. And, I was wrong with Ryan in the beginning when he was talking about, his cleaning habits, because, I like to be organized too, stuff like that. His house is very neat, but there's something missing. Now I'm starting not to put a finger on Ryan. There's something missing. Hi, Kayla. There's something missing with Ryan that is not there. It's more than just the L word. I think there's a struggle somewhere in Ryan's life.
Authenticity.
That he's working on. And then Clara, I think, well, she's clearly not as messy as she said she was. Clara is more out there. She's more travel because she's a flight attendant. I think she's more bubbly, more open. But I still say that religion factor is going to play a role in it. And I also think that, they said they haven't been romantic, but at the honeymoon, Clara said it without saying it, like, Ryan doesn't want me to talk about our romance. So, like I said in our review, I think that, because it's new and maybe because the background that his parents come from too, the religious background, maybe it's not a good look to talk about that right now. But I think they're okay for right now. That's about it. Exactly, Kayla. I think the same thing. I think something's going on undercover. What do you think?
What do I think? I definitely do think that, but I kind of think that Claire can pull Ryan out his shell a little bit to make him open up a little bit more, because that is definitely something that I want to see. Because Ryan is boring, but I can see him being a little firecracker. Like there's something within him. He's just not releasing it. And I think he's been in love before. He just never said the word and maybe doesn't know how to say it or whatever. And I still think Pastor Cal was trying to put some voodoo mind tricks on him. They're like, something like this, the communication, something like that. And he was like, yeah, maybe. But Clara, I think she's going to set a time limit on it because she's not going to keep waiting any longer. Well, too much longer. She's going to wait for right now because she actually seems like she wants to be in with the process to get to know him. But if he doesn't open up within, I don't know, the next 2 weeks or so, I think she's going to pull back.
Well, I think that we're going to find out a little bit more of any type of intimacy when we see their friends and family next week, because in the preview, Clara said that, I've never seen my husband with his shirt off. So you trying to tell me that he was out here in Vegas in the heat because it was hot in August.
Yeah, with the wife beater on.
At the pool and the beach and all the little things that they could have did, that he never had his shirt off. Like even when he came out the shower, like did he change in the bathroom? So that there's something going on with that there. Hey, Ellie. So I also think that too, Ryan may have been in love before, you're saying later saying that he's just afraid to say it now because he got hurt. And you know what? I think that's the theme of the men this season. To me, the theme of the men this season, it seems like they all have like some type of issue where they've been hurt in the past, and some are a little older. Mm-hmm. Versus the women who are, if they're not already successful in their career, they're like not ready to settle down party girls. So it's like, what kind of matches are these?
Do we really have to say?
Say it.
We don't have to say, because we've seen it. We've seen it with the couples. Mm-hmm. Ramona thinks I can tell that they're going to last. I don't think they're going to last. I think they're going to last for the moment.
I think they will.
I don't think they're going to be couple cam worthy.
Well, I think they're going to last up until the reunion. I think they're probably will stay together.
Mm-hmm. And were you really surprised that Ryan wasn't as clean as he came off?
I said that in my beginning. I was definitely surprised. He was like, I'm structured, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. And he opened it up and like, wait a minute, Ryan?
I don't think that was a compromise, because he don't like to sleep with the TV on. But, he was like, well, Claire was like, well, we can have the fan on. He was like, well, that can be a compromise. Mm-hmm. I need the TV on and the fan on. I need both. I need noise, and I need to be cold and warm at the same time.
Are you talking for Claire, or you talking about for yourself?
For myself.
I know you were.
And I was understanding Claire where she was coming from with that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. You think Claire's going to snap on him?
Yeah.
You think so, too?
Yeah, because if he isn't going to open up within the time frame that I'm sure Claire has, I mean, she's already a little firecracker. She already like pops off a little bit. So what do you think's gonna happen?
I don't know, but I've said from the beginning that I always thought Claire was a little more chatty than Ryan, and chatty more assertive. Well, I've said that. I saw that in the beginning. But as far as her snapping, now I think, when that thing happened with Chris at the honeymoon, and then he took her to the side, was like, listen, you mind your business. So she may try to snap. So I think he may try to get back with her if she does snap. Hey, the Jasmine Show. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but I don't know. I think Pastor Cal sees a little light in this couple, but I don't think we've seen enough of Ryan and Clara just yet.
That's an understatement.
I don't think so. Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
So what do you think about the couples? Who do you want to talk about?
These couples are driving me. They're driving me crazy. I think Virginia, she needs to not be married. She doesn't want to be married. I think that she just wants to live her life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are you getting an echo on your end?
Yeah, I am. Wait a minute.
If you have open 2 screens, it's going to give you an echo. You can only have open 1.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is. I can see you pausing, so it happens to us too.
Okay, is it still an echo?
No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that Virginia, she doesn't want to be married. She must have got on a show as a dare, because it makes no sense. First of all, I don't know anybody that parties from Thursday to Sunday drinking and then say they want to be married, and they're not going to change how their life is. And she gets an attitude with, oh, I'm not changing that. And then she complains about his place, and his place was short.
Wasn't it though? I want to be in this place. That's exactly what I said.
I was like, oh, that's nice. And then she complained about that. I just feel that she's immature and she is not ready.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have said from the beginning that I think that she's longing for a family eventually, because what she saw growing up with her parents being married and divorced 3 times, stuff like that. I can see her longing for that. But as far as, like you said, her maturity, she's not ready. Because when she said Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and she's not giving it up, I was like, Lord.
What kind of job does she have that allows her to do that?
I don't know. I think maybe she works on a college campus. That's the only job I think of that would work.
I thought she said she was a flight attendant, or is that just Claire?
No, that's just Claire. She said that she was a customer service rep for something. I don't know.
Oh, maybe she does the phone thing. Because
Still.
then I can see.
Well, you can hear it though in the slur.
Telemarketers.
Hello. So you're supposed to put a smile in your voice, not a slur in your voice. But that's just me. What do you think about? We talked about Haley and Jacob. Do you think that Haley opened that door for miscommunication, or you think Jacob was wrong all the way?
No, I like Jacob. I think that Haley has a problem. She said it from the beginning. She doesn't handle confrontations really well. So she did say that in the beginning, and I think that he had every right to snap. I think he just got so frustrated that
Mm-hmm.
he went way left. I don't think he meant to go that far left, but
Mm-hmm.
she wasn't giving him anything. I think she slept with him. Most women, when you sleep with somebody you don't know, I mean, most women, we're emotional creatures, so we
Mm-hmm.
just don't go out there. We're not like dudes. Dudes will go, they'll put a paper bag over your head. They don't care.
Yeah.
But women, we're more emotional. So for her to sleep with him and then be like, it wasn't good. We not connecting. That was really weird. And then for her to pull back and say, "Oh well, I don't get it. Something's missing." I think something's missing from her. I don't think she's ready.
I thoroughly agree. So that being a bridesmaid for 7 times, I think that's telling because when we met her friends, just like Virginia's friends, they're like, "What? You're getting married?" Like she doesn't come across the getting married type. I think she want to, so she would be the bride this time, but she's also into looks and this and that. I personally think she needs an older sugar daddy, like someone that's like older.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I honestly do. I do because I don't think she's into looks. I think she's into materialistic things. That's the vibe she gives me. I could be wrong. Haley. Haley. I think so. What do you think about that, Kayla?
I totally agree. I don't get it because for him, first of all, he's older. He's
Right.
very in tune with how he feels, what he thinks. So for the fact that he's asking her to express herself, most men are not like that. So the
Very
fact that
true.
he's asking her to express herself, what's the deal? You're not gonna hurt my feelings. What's going on? He just wants something. And yeah, he's a little strange with the 80s thing. I mean, I love the 80s. Not as bad, not as much as him. I
Mm-hmm.
love the 80s. And I think he's stuck in a time warp, but
Mm-hmm.
that's just one of his quirks. We all have quirks. I
True.
just feel that she's not giving him a chance. And she might miss out on something good in the long run.
I think she will too. I do.
don't think so.
Well, see, this Kayla, this is the difference in opinion. This is where you have your millennial opinion and adult opinion.
Yes.
Because we see it the same way. Like, I just don't think that's right. And I think that Haley opened that door of miscommunication and she expected an apology from Jacob. I don't think he should. I think they both should apologize.
Apology.
Because see, you're basing the apology off of when they came to the neutral apartment. What happened to the apology in the hotel room from Haley?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is where we're getting lost at, and this is where we.
No, that's where you're getting lost.
No, because from what Jacob said and Haley said were two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob at first made it seem like Haley, just left the room, didn't say nothing, and he just decided to mosey on down to the bar area, saw all the couples together hanging out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then after he saw that, she just left. But then Haley was saying she let him know that she was going to go downstairs with the girls to hang out. Mm-hmm. But then whatever happened between then, he decided to rush her downstairs to accuse her of having a boyfriend back home. So she deserved an apology, or did I miss something in the episode?
I think he did that because he couldn't understand her lying to him. I think that's what that was all about. If she didn't, and like he did say, if you wanted time to yourself, you could have just came and you could have just said that. You didn't have to lie.
Right. I mean, there's no way. I can't even go around and around in a circle with you about this because I see it different. He opened the door of miscommunication from the beginning. We can even take it to the day before that, the last week, where she's like, ew, you're eating onions. I mean, everything, when you don't care for someone, any little thing they do, you're like, oh my God. You look at it, oh, they're breathing this way, they're doing, no.
Let me take a step back. Maybe I see it this way because I don't like Jacob. I don't like chicken eggs. I don't like that he's obsessed with the 80s. I don't like his style, but I do like the beach in the back. But I think it's just me personally. I don't care for Jacob.
He's not granted, he's not the best looking guy, and he is weird. I'm not going to take anything away from that. He is a little weird, but let's remember, this is love at first sight. They knew they was going to get potentially hooked up with somebody that is a little weird. So that's part of the process. So when you sign up for a thing like this, you got to take the good with the bad.
I 100% agree. I've always said that. You just never know what you're going to get. You just don't. And it's okay to express your feelings that you don't particularly care for someone right away. Excuse me. But Haley, we're talking about Haley, not Chris. I know this coming down the pipe. I mean, she's just like looking at him with just like, just the look. And I'm like, I don't get it.
Chris has yet to give a real apology.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But Kayla, what do you think about Virginia and her talking about that when she gets drunk, it's okay to stay at her guy friends' houses?
Yo, I thought Pastor Cal was going to snap on her. Because what relationship, even if he was her boyfriend, even if they wasn't married, I don't know a man that's going to let their girlfriend sleep over one of their male friends' homes. That's not gay. I don't know no man that's going to let that girl do that.
But even if they were gay or a different persuasion, they're still a man. Like something could still potentially happen. But Virginia just so like, not my friends. They would never. I mean, how do you know? And here's my thing with Virginia too. Why do you think it's okay that you might be passed out on a friend's couch? Because honestly, it comes across like that's what she does Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It is just a known thing. Like, I'm going to pass out because she said, well, one lives right here and one lives right here. They're just down the block from each other. So she just picks the friend's house she's going to pass out at. That is beyond immature. That's a red flag for Eric. And I'm just like,
that's a problem.
It's a huge problem. What do you think about that?
Well, I agree that it's a problem. Like, you can't be doing that. Whether it's a husband, a boyfriend, whoever. If you're with someone, you can't be over another person of the opposite sex house because they're going to get angry. Like, I have gay friends, and when I was out there dating, they used to be like, well, are you sleeping with them? Like, no, we're just friends. So that's just us kicking it. Me saying I was going to sleep over, that would have been a whole nother conversation. And the fact that she doesn't get that or understand it is why I don't understand where you even gave her a maybe, no maybe. Like, there was never a maybe in it. It's always been a no from day one when she was talking about drinking, drunk, passed out on her bachelorette party, and still drinking the next day. Like, she can keep going.
But we didn't know the depth of.
I didn't need to. I saw it all.
Of her drinking until she expressed it, because bachelorette party, people drink, whatever. That's how we met them all. I mean, they were all drinking, but she just took it a little bit too far. On the wedding, we saw her starting to get a little bit more drinks in her. But then when she explained that to Eric, like, I'm gonna need to do this with my friends, I was like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. But again, I think she's immature for marriage, but I still, again, see her longing to be married. So the longing to be married will always be there just based off of her family dynamic and them being divorced so many times. I think that will always be there. I mean, the same, honestly, for Paige. Like, her family dynamic is almost similar to Virginia's with the divorces and not having that family structure you're looking for. Mm-hmm. So I think that really plays a role in the way that they're thinking. Virginia masked hers in alcohol, clearly, and Paige masked hers in sex with whoever it is.
Okay. Virginia, I do think something was missing along the way, her growing up, because I don't understand how, in her mind, that's how you have a good time. Her thing is, if you don't have alcohol, you're not having a good time. Right. And he's not going to be drinking. He is a pilot.
Right.
And whatever airline he represents, he cannot be on national TV.
Exactly.
Like that. He makes a great living. He said he was divorced. So he's not trying to go down that rabbit hole. And why she doesn't understand that is beyond me. I just really think she was drunk when she applied for the and I just don't think I really don't believe she wants to be married. I think she likes the sound of it. I don't think she wants to be married.
Well, I think there's a few people on this show that applied on a bet or a dare, but they still went through the process and still made it on the show. So
too many. But how about this? So do you see, now that the episode's getting, more intense and we see more of the couples, do you see Eric being more controlling based off of the answers that Haley gave Pastor Cal?
I don't think he's being controlling.
I
don't think no. The part that a lot of people feel is like when he just wants he wants to know where she's at. They're married. So when you care about somebody, if you're in a relationship, whether you're married or not, if that person lives with you, I think just out of respect, it's just a matter of respecting the feelings of the other person. If you're I've been married almost 30 years. If I'm going out, I'm going to let my husband know I'm going out. I don't want him to come home and be like, where was you? You ain't even know to nothing. It's just a matter of mutual respect and vice versa, because I'm sure if he's not flying that plane, she going to want to know where he's at when he leaves the house.
You know what? I don't think so. I agree with your point, except for the last part. I don't think she cares where he would be at when he's not. Because she even said, like, when they came home, you're like, I have to have time for me, like me time. Like, she was stressing about that. So I think that it is something you do when you care about someone, whether you're married to them, your mom, your dad, your kids, their friends, whoever. Let me know when you make it home, whatever. But I think Virginia was allowed maybe to do whatever she wanted to do.
Yeah.
And she just never got that type of attention, that love, that bond that she's looking for, honestly, because I don't think Eric is controlling at all. Now, does he talk to her like he's her father? Yeah, kind of, because honestly, this is not going to be popular. Maybe with you, Kayla, because we're on the same page. I think she needs that. I think she needs to be reeled in and talked to, like, listen.
She acts like she's 18 years old.
Exactly. She needs some type of, I don't know.
You think he needs to guide her in the right direction?
Yeah, but when you come to be married, technically you shouldn't have to guide nobody. But for this 8-week process, she's going to need to be guided, for sure.
I want to know where her parents are. Like, what did her parents tell her about marriage? Because she's clueless.
That's what I'm saying. Because her parents have been married and divorced so many times. I think they've each been married and divorced 3 times on both sides.
Wow. I missed that part.
Yes, because remember when she was about to get married, her stepmom came to talk to her because her dad wasn't willing to come talk to her about getting married. So that's why I get the longing thing. She wants the family structure she never got, and I think because she's had to like bounce back and forth, she never had that parental
Yeah.
things setting boundaries.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
me. But
Yeah.
then again, that's just me being a good parent.
I mean, that's what, yeah. I mean, my daughter is grown. When she leaves out, I'm just like, okay, text me when you come in the house, when you get home. Before she moved out, I'm like, okay, if you're not home by a certain time, like, midnight, even if she stay over a friend's house, just text me to let me know where you are. Because, I was always raised nothing good happens after midnight. So,
I mean, I still do that now. If she's gone from home and I'm like, okay, well, Target's like 10 minutes around the corner and you still not back after an hour, I want to know why you didn't text me because anything can happen to you.
yes.
That's just a parenting thing for her, and I don't think Virginia got that just based off the things
Yeah.
to mask her reality. I just
Yeah.
honestly think so. Well,
Well, you know how I feel about Virginia on that one.
yes, I do. All right. Well, let's move to Brianna and Vincent. How about that?
Champagne Vinny. I was so disappointed with him this episode.
What?
I really was.
You really were.
You don't have to keep listening to things. I hear you.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Just let me know.
So why don't you care for Champagne Vinny this episode? But before you get started,
disappointed. I was sad.
Oh.
I was hurt.
I think that Brianna is going to have a communication issue with him. I do. Because, well, it's funny. You know how I feel about that? I do. I tell this to my kids all the time. Because it's always about your tone. It's always who's ever receiving the message. You could be sarcastic. Some people could take it sarcastic, and some days you might be in a mood where that sarcasm sounds like, huh? What'd you say? Like you have attitude towards me. And Vincent, again, he came from a broken home as well. Remember, he said his parents weren't around for whatever reason. He grew up with his cousins and grandmother, whoever. Something's triggering Vincent to me, not from just the past relationship, way back, because I think that in all his relationships, he may have had this issue with him hearing things that he didn't like. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that's just me.
I think that he was definitely triggered by a past relationship. He carries some baggage. And I feel that Brianna, I get her because she reminds me a lot of me when I was her age. So I get it, but he needs to communicate exactly what she's doing. He's trying to be nice in front of the cameras, but if he doesn't specify what it is that she's saying, because him keep on saying respect me, that's caveman talk. So no woman wants to hear that. So they need to, she needs to figure it out. He needs to tell her.
I also I noticed that last week too. When he's got to close the door, he has a problem. Vince has a problem with you. He just doesn't want to, express his feelings on camera. I also think that Vincent needs to talk to her more, and I think they need to put whatever the issues are on the table so they can have a fulfilling communication relationship. Because I think they're attractive physically for sure. But there's something with. Did you see the way he was doing his ring, as if he was part of the Godfather movie? Like what you mean? I was like, ooh, yeah, upset.
He was definitely showing.
I'm just saying. That's how it came across to me.
Millennial, what did you think?
I think Champagne Vinny was definitely a little bit too sensitive this episode because, yes, does Brianna have a tone to her? She does. Is she bossy? She is. But I even told this to Mom like a few weeks back. I don't think I said it on camera. I was more like, I don't really see them 100% working out because they're just like on two different fields, but every time we see them, they're always just saying such great things about each other. Especially Vincent, like, oh, she's so great. She's the woman of my dreams. I'm just so happy to be with her and all this other stuff.
Are you like embellishing?
Because that's how he tries to make it seem like everything is just so great and so perfect. But then when Pastor Cal asks, okay, so like, that's nice, but what's the issue? And then he was like, oh, yeah, she be disrespecting me. Well, how does she disrespect you? Like, you don't really give like real concrete examples. It's just whatever he at the time felt disrespectful. For example, when he went to her apartment and her TV was leaning, it was doing a little drunk lean or whatever he was joking about. She wasn't like, so you're just gonna talk about my TV like that? Like, I made my TV like this. Like, how dare you talk to me like that?
But she didn't care.
She didn't get an attitude. But because, he spilled some of the champagne on the floor and she was trying to be like little jokey with him, like, oh, that's so Vinny of you. Then he's like, what do you mean it's so Vinny of me? Like, is Vinny smart? Is Vinny stupid? Like, what is Vinny? I'm
right.
like,
that
calm.
What you mean?
Calm down. Like, it's not that serious. It's not that deep. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't like when someone can always joke with you, but then when it's your time to joke, it's like you can't say anything.
I think that he's just I think because they don't know each other and they need to have a little bit more conversation, honest conversation about his background and what has happened to him so she will understand. Because in a normal relationship like that, he might be a really good guy. But because they never, talk to each other or anything, she doesn't know his triggers.
Right.
She just doesn't know his triggers. So because of that, she's just talking like she would with, joke around with whoever. And he's like, ugh. So I think he needs to have an honest conversation, adult conversation. They need to sit down and he just needs to put all his cards on the table and say, listen, this is what happened to me in the past. And, I can't handle certain things, sarcasm and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Jasmine show, he did revert back to childhood. I thought I was seeing a 7-year-old on camera like I do every day. Like, calm down. It's not that serious.
Right, it's not that serious. But then again, going back to that closet conversation when they're in her closet, if you remember in the beginning, I know I go back to the beginning because I tried to remember what they're about, what their friends and family say before they're matched together. Apparently, Vince is into activism, homelessness, for things like that and stuff. Just being more aware. And so when he looked in her closet, like, oh, you're going to donate that stuff? He was being serious. He was being very serious. And then Brianna was like, no. So I think there's lots of different things triggering Vincent, not just the, do you think I'm not good enough kind of thing, but just different little nuances that is triggering him. And I do think they need to talk. I think that, I don't know. I think the experts need to be around like all the couples for the rest of the show because they
all know they're not going to do that.
I know, but they all have something going on underneath the surface that's bubbled up outside of Chris and Paige, which I think is interesting with this only being technically week 1.
So do you see them having cultural differences too? Like some people keep saying.
Well, I said it too from the beginning because when he asked her at the reception, do you cook? She said, no, I cook to eat. I was like, uh-oh, that's the problem. That's a problem, which means he likes to eat. His culture likes to eat too. He I guess, the machismo thing would probably be like, oh, he wants to be the woman who can cook, but nope.
So do you think he wants her to kind of be like what Ryan said to Claire, just to be quiet and to be more submissive like?
He may want her to be submissive, but that's not going to work with Brianna. She don't have that kind of personality. At all. You don't think so either, Kayla? You don't have that type of personality.
No, that's that's not going to work. That's not I mean, she was already warned by his family that he has a hot temper, so he could be one of those that the quiet. They always say watch the quiet ones. So he's just one of those who holds in. And that's it.
Mhm.
I might be quiet, but I let it be known if something's really bothering me.
That's good. You should, especially in a relationship.
Well, I know, but we know relationship.
So,
I'm
but
trying to be like Virginia, but the non-married version of Virginia.
oh, okay. I'm just gonna pick my neck looking at you like what? All right. So let's go to the piece de resistance. Paige and Chris. Paige and Chris. Like, where do we begin?
From the airport.
Okay, let's start at the airport. Now, I thought that they were on the same flight together. Now, I did rewatch it again this afternoon. I did rewatch it. So you telling me that he came from Vegas to Atlanta and then from Atlanta to Chicago?
So what it seemed like to me, he flew with her to Atlanta, but then got a connecting flight. It was like, look, I'm going to Chicago. I don't know what you're doing in that new house we got, but I'm about to go see my ex in Chicago. That's what he did.
Yeah, because she still has some of his luggage.
That
And
luggage
she-
was
And she
rolling
good.
around the baggage carrier.
Yeah, exactly. She good because he would have never seen them clothes again. He ain't taking with him, then so be it. He would have
Mm-mm.
never seen them clothes.
Check the lost and found it would whatever airports in Atlanta because I don't have them. Like what luggage? Oh no!
I know when they had that conversation. Oh my God, that conversation really just made me so angry. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let them drain me.
Steal
this
your joy?
episode. I was like, they're not gonna do it. But when I saw that, I had to. And then after the conversation, he was like, "You still got my luggage?" I was like, "Huh? Luggage? Where's the luggage at?" Because it wouldn't be me. It couldn't be me.
No, it wouldn't have been
It's
me.
not gonna be me.
It better not be. But anyways, we're getting off track. The point is, okay, when Paige told us that Chris did all this and how she was upset, she called Pastor Cal and was going off. I was like, you know what? Yes, Paige, you finally saw the light. I'm so proud of you, girl. We have been rooting
Yes.
from the beginning.
Yes.
Pastor Cal came, and this is the first time that I have been convinced that the experts truly didn't know, because he looked like he did not know what was going on.
He
And
looked like he wanted to snap.
Right, look.
No, but he did like this. He took his glasses off. He did.
Exactly. And here's my thing, though. I'm really surprised because I think what happened with Paige and Chris, I think someone from production should have let the executive producers know to contact the experts, because that is life-changing, life-altering. Because it went more left. You understand what I'm saying?
That's not what Paige said. She said she ain't new to. She's true to this, so she don't know what you talking about over here, Mom. 10 toes down. I was like, okay, Miss Paige.
She's used to being abused, though. She's used to being with men who emotionally abuse her because he is a narcissist, and the way he was treating her and talking to her, and he's only doing that because he knows that she's going to allow him to do it. I mean, and then when Pascal was like, so she told him she was having sex with him every day. I thought I was going to throw something at the TV. I couldn't believe it. And unprotected. Who has unprotected sex with somebody you don't know? You don't know him. Granted, he is your husband, but he's still a stranger. Who does that?
Well, she's trying to hold on to the covenant that she feels that she's got to hold on. But again, he is a stranger. But like you said, Paige is used to being in an abusive relationship. As far as I'm concerned, it may not be abusive, but it comes across that way.
It's abusive.
Because especially when she says, she's used to being with men who have children. Yeah, but at least hopefully you knew those men. You don't know Chris. You don't know that man. And then from the very beginning, he told you how he was not attracted to you from A to Z.
Well, no, he told her friends first.
It doesn't matter who he told. He could told the moon first. He said, "I'm not attracted to you from A to Z," and it just kept going on and on and on and on from the honeymoon. Everything kept piling up, the baby, the this and the that. And then when she finally got tired is when she came back home. I'm like, girl, when you came back home was the last straw for you? Because when she went into the apartment, she was like, well, I'm giving him his, that was your part. I'm giving his time.
I know. Girl, you need time. He don't need time. That was too much.
Right. She ain't new to this. She true to this. I said, girl, that's nothing to be proud of. Like, what you talking about?
At all.
She should have just kept that to herself.
I can't even imagine hearing that from you. I just can't even imagine
How
hearing
y'all doing?
kind of mom. Hey,
Hey,
Devontae.
I caught
What's
y'all
going on?
last minute. I'm late.
Not really. That's okay. Are you at work or are you home from work today?
I got on my PJ. It's not at work.
Okay, so that means you're not distracted by your work phone.
Nope. Ain't gonna get no calls tonight.
That's all right. What's going on? What do you want to talk about? We're on
Chris and Paige.
page now, but we can talk about whoever you want to talk about. Just chime in.
Chris and Paige. Oh, I got time today. I'm just like.
We need to hear.
Let's hear
First
it.
of all, she killed me when she was like, "I'm true to this. I'm not true to this. I'm true to this." I was like, Paige. I ain't gonna lie. I was more mad at the preview of the next episode than anything. I was like, I just stood up. My wife was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "She gonna meet up with that girl?" I'm like, "What's to talk about? What we talking about, Paige?" And then
You sound just like Mom did yesterday.
That's exactly what I said. I said, I was like, it went off because we film as soon as it goes off. I was like, you know what? We got you next week, Chris. We got you next week. Are you ready to film? Are you ready to film? Because I cannot believe you. No, I can't. I still can't believe that she would tolerate so much
within 8 days.
Just so much. Like, is your self-esteem really so low where you have to accept the cards that he's dealing you with the smirk on his face and everything? He couldn't even hold a straight face.
He was sitting there like,
yo, that smirk. I was ready to slap the smirk off his face. That was so disrespectful.
Right.
Paige was getting mad. Them nostrils was getting huge. Like,
she wasn't enough for me.
Well, see, when Chris first came in the door, because at first I was like, I know he not went to her apartment, because I'm like, how do you know where she lived? And then I was told it was the neutral apartment. But when he came in and he was like, "Oh, how you doing, sir?" Sir, up and down, up and down. Oh, what's up, Paige? Mm-hmm. Oh, what's up? I was like, what's up? Like it's not to be domestic, but it's time to flip the sofa over. You know what I'm saying?
I just knew she was gonna flip the table. I just thought the hood was just gonna come out of her. That was like, this was to be the episode. Like, yes. She was gonna be snapping. Like, do you know who I am? Do you know?
Yes.
I will get my cousin to kill you. Like, right. I really put on a Married at First Sight group on Facebook. I said, where's Paige's uncles and brothers and daddies at? Where's everybody at?
I'm looking for the fight from the bridesmaids. Like, as soon as we landed at the airport,
my girls would have been there.
Right, but then again, he went to Chicago, so no reason to come up there today. But listen, give me the address to the neutral place. We're gonna be waiting on you. How about that?
Been there with a sign like, "We've here for Chris."
Exactly. But I thought she was going to keep that same energy when she was talking to Pastor Cal about Chris and
she was on that phone.
No, when she was talking to Pastor Cal in person about Chris, I thought she was going to keep the same energy. Like, well, he said this, and I'm really done for sure, and all this, and all he had to do was whisper, and she was right on back.
He got her nose wide open. I'm sorry. Man. I am not trying, but I really believe whatever he was doing to her, she ain't never had it done to her before. And her nose is wide open because I can't imagine her allowing him to disrespect her like that on national TV. And previously she was talking all this God stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
when she when she snapped on that phone call, she threw
Mm-hmm.
God out the window and she just snapped. So I feel like she need to he needs a kick in the behind. And I feel that has been like this with everybody. When
Yeah.
he snapped off with Eric, he wouldn't have snapped off with Eric if he was a black dude. He wouldn't have did that. That would
I
have
don't
been
think
a
so.
whole different. That would have been a whole different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So he's one of those. He liked to manipulate the things, and he liked to change it to his opinion. Because you saw when she said, "Well, you dragged me. I ain't dragged you." What?
Right. Right. And here's the thing. Did y'all notice when he was talking to Pastor Cal, he was like, "Yes, sir." I was
I
like,
thought he was gonna cry too. I was like, if he cry, I'm just about to lose a TV for the day, and I ain't gonna do that.
you have to go to Best Buy and get you another TV.
You already know. Just terrible.
I was like, he's putting on, and for somebody to talk to another pastor, since that's his family dynamic, and that's what he supposedly was supposed to go towards too, but wasn't making enough money. There's something with that. I'm just
If
saying.
he a pastor, I'm a rapper. That's all I got to say. What church? What? That must be online. That must be online church. That got to be.
No, I'm gonna
Facebook.
tell you what church. The old school Cedric the Entertainer joke. Hold my mule while I shout. Baptist church.
Yes, exactly. That church always asking for tithes. As soon as you walk in the door,
Amen.
good morning, good morning.
Amen.
Would you like to? That's that building fund church. Ain't got a
Everything is
doorknob on
amen.
the church. Yeah.
ATM's that before you come in, hit your card. Amen.
Right. Chris is going down. I don't know. I feel bad. I don't feel bad for her because she's doing it to herself.
I don't feel bad for her either. And last week I have to retract my statement.
Okay.
Because I said, well, maybe she's a victim. She's being portrayed as a victim. I said that, but you know what? I'm gonna have to take it back because that whole time she was talking to Pastor Cal, she is confirming, yeah, I know what I did wasn't right, but I was still doing this. Yeah, I know that the next time I had sex with him unprotected wasn't right, but I still wanted to do this. Yeah, he might have a baby, but I'm 10 toes down with it, so it's all right with me. Everything, she was confirming what she knows. So I'm like, either, just like someone said in the comments, either she is a good actress, something is going on here, or she's serious. And I can't, my brain is not connecting 2 + 2 is not equal to 4 because I don't know how she's serious with this. For 8 days? No.
She's serious.
My thing was she was having sex with him unprotected. Now,
Right.
what day did she find out about the baby? And then she was like, he was talking about a honeymoon baby. I'm like, you already got a baby coming, Paige. What you wait? You want another baby? Y'all gonna have 2 babies and a dog. What's going on?
Devontae, get you a fan because you about to catch the ghost. Amen.
I'm trying to tell you.
But you know what though? Not just that. When she said that to Pastor Cal, and I was like, Pastor Cal didn't know what to say after that. That's what was just like the.
I low key think Pastor Cal already knew what's up.
I don't think so.
I was just about to say that. You seen his like.
I know he's like.
I was like, that looked like they practiced that.
No,
I don't think he knew because he looked like he wanted to just stand up and shake the crap out of her. Like he was done because he just asked her like, "Why would you do that?"
Right, but you have to say like Pastor Cal though. Why, Paige? Why would you do that? Tell me, Paige. I don't know. He won the honeymoon, baby. Yeah. Oh, wait.
He always rubbed this part of it. I said it. I told my wife, I was like, baby, we should do a little drinking game. Every time Pastor Cal take his glass off, take a sip.
Oh no, you lost it.
We ain't gonna be going. I said we won't. Nah, I wouldn't be on this phone call.
I know you would.
But I thought he knew because he came in there. Paige, it looked beautiful. He said like 9 times Paige, you
Mhm.
beautiful. I said, oh, he trying to like, you beautiful. My fault. I didn't know that you
I don't
beautiful.
think he knew
I
the
don't think he
dynamic.
knew the details of it. I think
Exactly. I was
he
about to say
knew.
that.
I think he knew some things, like with the
Mhm.
producers, but I don't even think that the producers ain't there when they hitting it. So
True.
I just think, I think when she was, told that, and she talking about every day, even after he told her. Now, mind you, he talking to his ex the whole time they on their honeymoon.
Speaking of, but see, we know this already because we all figured that out. Wait, 6 weeks. Wait a minute. Come on now. She just got pregnant, but when Pastor Cal figured that out, the look on his face,
Now that I don't think he knew.
he definitely didn't know that. He was like, wait, because that's exactly what I said when I was like, wait. 6 weeks. Come on now. I even put that in our review. Like, if you ever been pregnant the first time, you already know. You already know that's your first missed cycle. You pregnant. So he been hitting that, and then the show from the pregnancy that was like only a 3 week time period. That's when he got that cover up too. I bet you.
Right, and then he went to Chicago. My wife was like, "Yep, he went there to hit it again." I said, "What?"
Exactly.
I
I
said,
thought
"What?"
the same thing. I was like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
he went to get some more. Ain't nobody
Yeah.
slow.
I was
Right.
just waiting for Pastor Cal to just say, Paige, sometimes God sends you signs. Like, every
If he
sign from
should
God
try.
ain't a good sign.
Mhm.
Somebody need to tell her. Somebody definitely need to tell her. We need to be on three-way with Paige. Listen,
I
girl.
Who?
did I did think Pastor Cal was going to kind of dig in Chris behind a little bit more though, because he let Chris off on that, and I couldn't believe I've seen him kind of dig into some of them behind. Like, remember that time when the dude, who was it? The dude Luke, and
Mm-hmm.
he talked about every time he has sex with her, he cry or something like that.
Oh yeah, Luke and Kate. No, he said he was repulsed by. Yeah, I remember.
And Cal was like, "What? So what?" And he
Right.
kind of, in the past, he kind of dug into them. I'm not understanding why the experts aren't doing more um, coaching with these couples, because it seems like they need a whole lot more coaching.
Yeah. They need
I,
somebody who's not a pastor as on the panel. Like, they need like Dr. Pepper, Dr. Viviana, Pastor Cal, then I don't know, Jocelyn Hernandez. I don't know. I just
ooh.
somebody we need somebody crazy that's gonna be like, no, 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 no. Don't cut the camera. Wait.
Yeah, but see, someone like Chris, he wouldn't even be on camera with that because he likes to do things, behind the scenes with the mic cut. You know what I'm saying? With that shows that you're shady, not because remember it's like, oh, you talk about sex in front of my parents, like that's not right. But this is your marriage. This is your honeymoon, baby. And
Like, boy, you about 30 years old.
right. And I want to know, why did Pastor Cal leave before Chris? That's what I want to know.
Because the Jesus was about to jump out of him. He said, you know what? He was like, he walked out of here like, nope, will not provoke me, Satan. I'm out. Yep, that's it.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
but why would Chris leave before Pastor Cal anyway?
Because
That's still his wife. They still have things to talk about.
oh,
Why did Chris come in there with the mom jeggings on? That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like,
he
them
always
pants.
wears that though.
I was
He
about to say,
always, even in
Yeah.
Vegas, he had that too tight suit on.
I ain't never seen nobody pants so tight their knees about to pop out the hole. I was like, I said, oh, the knees about to pop
Oh
out.
yeah, that's his uniform. He likes it. It's either them tight pants, jeggings, or that one suit, the blue suit. Because the blue suit for next week looked like it was the same blue suit like before the wedding, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, he got married in a blue suit, I think,
Yeah,
didn't he?
But
something like that.
it might be the women fault that Chris the way he is, because they the only ones who done hyped him up to the point that he think Paige is ugly, like out of his league. Like, I don't get it.
Well, he's looking at his ex-fiance, and from the pictures I've seen online of her, she's gorgeous. But now I think he's all about, he likes something pretty on his arm. I think he one of those dudes. He wants something that looks good on his arm. He want a trophy piece. And because Paige, I don't know if it's because she's darker than his ex-fiance, but all he was looking at was her body. He didn't care about nothing else. He put a bag over her head. He said it to his boys before the wedding. His father is totally inappropriate, because if his father was my husband, I would have punched him right in his mouth. Like, did you really just say that to that girl that's a stranger? So what? You get ready to do her? Like, what's going on here? His
I know.
father.
I said his mama is a G, because it ain't no way. I said it'd have been over right there. Let me talk to you in the hallway real quick. Excuse me.
Right. I tell y'all all the time. I just can't even imagine if she was on the show and I was at the wedding and she came to tell me. It would have been a different preview. It just couldn't happen. Like, how does this work? Like, how do you talk to my child in an overly sexual manner? Because that clearly shows that you want her, not just you want her, your friends from the church want her too. Like, what kind of marriage is this? For real. Like, what kind of marriage is it?
I'm trying to figure out what these black folks, how they be getting all them black people to come to these weddings. It'd be like, so you want me to go to this wedding that we don't know her? You don't know her. We all gonna show up and we gonna be on TV? My family would never. They have to fill in. That crowd.
We talk about all the time. Like, we would be in the corner looking like,
all right, come over there. Hey, mom. Like, I don't know you. But
exactly.
I did see Brent's I said Brent's, dang, Bree and Vincent.
Yeah.
I called it. I told my wife, I was like, he's sensitive. I said, he real sensitive. I said, because that little joke she made wasn't nothing. I said, so
it wasn't.
Either she
But
getting
before
on his
you hold
nerve.
on, Devontae, before you get to that, I want to ask you a question. We already talked about. So, what do you think about Paige still having Chris's luggage first?
That was weird. Like, I thought they was about to go back up into the apartment for a second. That's why
I did too.
It's like, you gonna get my, I don't know. That's some real player. Yeah, I'm with you. He done made her see Jesus, because it ain't no way. That luggage would have been still in Vegas.
Right.
Bro, that luggage. It ain't no way. I was like, you mean to tell me he told you I'm on the flight that I'm about to catch another flight to Chicago so I can clear my head, and then I'm gonna come back and you gonna go get the luggage out your car, man?
Yeah, exactly. I just want to hear your point of view since you're the male on here. So go ahead, Brianna and Vincent. So you think Vincent is sensitive, but do you think he's sensitive because his past relationships, or maybe from childhood, or just a combination of both?
Yeah, it's probably a combination of both. I don't know though. I don't know about his childhood. It got to be something in his childhood, because he get mad real quick. And I was literally screaming at TV once he was like, I can go home. I was like, no, don't leave. Don't, no. I was like, please don't pack a bag. Just go on the couch. And he left. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
I could tell she was about to cry. She tried to act like a thug. I was like, she about to cry. As soon as they say cut, she about to be in the bathroom. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but do you think that Brianna was being a little too mouthy to him?
I mean, I think because they fresh. When you know somebody, you could crack certain jokes. Certain stuff. If I don't know you, you can't just be coming around saying stuff. Be like, like, you blind. Be like, bro, I don't know you like that. I'm coming in my business. What I mean? Like, it's certain stuff your friends can say. He really, even though that's his wife, he don't know her like that. And he don't like, I don't think, you got to learn your partner's humor. Like,
that's true.
But he was definitely sensitive. She ain't say nothing, but you being something that Vinny would do. I'm like, who cares?
Right. I didn't see anything wrong with that either. But do you remember that his cousins, because he didn't grow up with his family, his cousins said to Paige or whoever, not Paige, excuse me, Brianna, that a quick temper. You don't want to see him mad. So, like, what triggers his temper? So, and if something as small as, oh, you got, champagne on your shirt. Oh, you're being Vinny. I'm going home. Like, what? Then you can't say nothing to him at all.
That's probably that. I said it. I'm like, he nice and everything, but he's single. Something off. That's why I think like his last relationship when she said she ain't support him, like maybe it's just him and he just be and the last person just couldn't deal with it no more.
Yeah, it's a lot going on behind Vince's mind. Because also too, when he gets mad, he goes behind closed door. And I was saying earlier, like he got mad, he was throwing that ring like he was on The Godfather, like contemplating what his next move was. Like, oh, Vinny's done. I'm an idiot, just I was waiting on that to come up, but he went home. But in the previews coming up, he looked like he was really sad talking to his friend, whose friend's trying to convince him, like, she's a good girl, you should stay. So it's like, so what happened on the honeymoon where they had that closed door that we found out the next day to this that she's saying or he's misinterpreting that's really gotten under the skin where he's contemplating like not even coming back?
I don't know. Either maybe that's one of his real pet peeves. Like he just can't stand people that just nitpick. I don't know. Some people can like deal with a nitpicker. I don't know.
But if she's sarcastic, like there's certain levels of sarcasm.
Yes.
I'm sarcastic.
Mm-hmm.
And as I get older, it gets worse.
Yeah, I understand.
But like I said, I've been married almost 30 years. So, that's part of the communication process. My husband will tell me, you out of pocket. So I just feel with them not knowing each other, that's a huge factor.
Right.
And then the other part of it is, now I do believe they're going to run into some huge problems. Him trying to become an entrepreneur and open his own business, that requires a lot of patience on both. And starting a new business in the middle of a pandemic could crash a marriage. And I don't know if she realizes what that's all going to entail. Because if she is, quote unquote, strong Black woman, and she has her own money, she gonna feel a certain kind of way when he ain't coming home with no money. I'm just saying.
Right.
I wonder what I'm just trying to figure out like why they just keep leaving that entrepreneur. I'm like, what is he doing? Is he going around washing inside of cars? Is he like
he's a car? He's some kind of broker, like an auto broker.
Oh, like
something like that.
So
I think he's trying to, sell cars on his own. So if he's trying to do that on his own, that's a lot because you got to start up. You got to have money to buy the cars, and then you have to get people to buy them from you. So that's a lot. So he may not get a profit for a year or two, if that.
I didn't know. She said she want a condo. No, Atlanta ain't cheap.
No, she said she wanted a high rise. You see, he kind of was like, yeah, sure, we get one.
Well, he said that she can have anything that she wants.
Well,
he'll do anything.
We'll
for
see.
her.
Well, clearly that's not true.
He shouldn't have said that. He was just saying that for the cameras. Because when he said that, I was like, yo, you need to shut up. Because you are national TV.
Right.
And that is not real.
I was like, you got anything that we can afford? Yes, we can afford. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that. I can't promise you the moon and the stars. This is married at first sight, not married millionaire at first sight. Trying to figure it out. But was y'all surprised that Ryan and Claire didn't do anything? I thought they did.
No. Like I was saying earlier, when she said to the camera last week that, Ryan doesn't want me to say anything that we were romantic, but, we did something, but maybe we didn't. That's telling. I think they did something. Now,
I don't think they did nothing.
They didn't go off. They did not have intercourse. How did what's the name say? I did not have intercourse with that woman. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Right.
What that was. and they're doing other things, and she is frustrated. And she's like, enough of that. What you need to do is shut it all down. Just shut it all down. I bet he'd be thinking different then.
Yeah, you can't be revving that engine up. You ain't gonna drive.
Well, that's true too.
I don't know. He just a little weird. He's so weird. The haircut, everything. We just need to redo it. Every time I see the swoop, I'm like, what? Why? I'm like, what is that? I'm like, what if you go in the barbershop and say, yeah, give me that one look.
You know he go to Supercuts, and I'm not even trying to be mean. Barbershop on MLK like we used to go to for my brother. That is not that. No crisp lineup or anything.
Right, like where's the hairline? Where I just be like, I don't know. I just don't see it. Like, imagine her going to the family reunion. Like, I just don't see it. I don't see it. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I be catching her little, sometimes she be saying little racy stuff. I'd be like,
She does, and I've said this from the bachelorette party, she does give a Karen vibe. She definitely gives that to me, a Karen vibe. Like, you could just like, well, I like, besides her saying she likes men she's been with the United Nations, just different little things, just because you've been with someone of color, that doesn't mean, you have the privilege that you can say X, Y, Z. But I think that she has before. She just gives me that vibe. She may not, but.
Oh, she definitely gives me the vibe too. I've been said that.
you can't say that around Ryan. Ryan don't even look like he say the N-word. He look like he'd be more offended.
But did you see Ryan's friends though? All Ryan's friends are, from one group.
Yeah. He looked like it.
His friends don't look like them.
But I'm just saying that's why Clara may feel she's comfortable with stuff like that. But what do you think about Ryan's house? I was disappointed because I was wrong with Ryan on the organized things because I'm very organized until he opened that cabinet. And I was like, why are you still putting stuff on that shelf? I didn't understand that. I really didn't. You had to keep stuff on the shelf. And then you're going to show that shelf? You could have showed any other shelf but that one. Like, oh, look.
Shelf was ghetto. I was like, why you put the frosted flakes on that? Like, why you do that?
You put
but
that
the pilot, Eric House, I was like, who he got money for real? I said, oh, he got money. Look at the TV. Look at he got a chandelier. Men don't have chandelier unless you got money.
That's what me and Miss Kayla was saying. Like, in our review, I was like, listen, I'm moving in with you. I don't know.
Her drunk self talking about,
I'm moving in with you.
It's too big. It's too big. I like a little apartment. Like, what are you talking about? This is a big house. Do you know what the party gonna look like up in here? He got music. He got a soundproof room. Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hold on. Let me answer this, Sagittarius. I think Ryan is struggling with lots of things too. I'm not gonna pinpoint his sexuality, but I think he's struggling with lots of things in his life. Maybe.
Nah, I don't get gay vibes from him.
I didn't say that. I just said I think he's struggling with something. I do.
I was talking about the person who said that.
Thank you, CC. But yeah, so what do you think about Virginia's apartment? It was exactly what I thought it was. Girly picture. Like I said in the review, minus the keg. The only thing I didn't see was a keg. That's it.
Where was the cat at? Because they kept on talking about sneezing. I'm like, where's the cat?
You know cats. Well, maybe you don't know.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, we definitely don't know here. We can't. She allergic to cats. Allergic. We don't know. I am.
If he got to say he's allergic to cats and he gets all itchy and sneezy and coughy, but he walked around okay, you're not allergic to cats. You're
right.
not.
Then he was like, I thought I sneezed.
Automatic.
He was like, did I sneeze? I thought I sneezed. Maybe I didn't sneeze.
I just don't want that cat in the new place because he don't
like cats. That's what that is. He don't like cats.
Exactly. So, but what do you think about Pastor Cal talking to Virginia about her friends staying at her house. I
He
mean,
did
at
a good job. He did. That was the best job Pastor Cal did. He said the right thing. If it was as a married man, I would feel a way if my wife spent the night with a man, well, over my male friends. So I don't know though. I don't know. It depends though. Like if she can, the way she drink, she might need to spend the night, or she gonna be on channel 7 in a tree. You know what I
with the
mean?
firefighters trying to get her down.
Right. Like woman was driving Volvo, hit 9 buses. I don't know.
No.
I think he did a good job though. I mean, Eric do be doing the most sometimes. I mean, but I don't know if she ready to be married. It just seemed like she just won't. I feel like all her friends getting married and they got somebody, so she was like, "Hey, why don't I go get married? You know, free vacation at that, and we going to Vegas."
Right. She's not. No, she's not. Because even when Cal was like, "Wait a minute, so you think it's okay to stay somewhere?" She's like, "Yeah." She's still everything is like, "Yeah." Like she don't see a problem with nothing, and that's the issue. If you don't see a problem with what it is that you're doing, and then your new husband had to tell the expert that it's like boyfriend and girlfriend, and you didn't deny that, it's a problem. She didn't deny it at all.
Right.
So
I
that's how.
want them to go back to like when they got home, they like go find a home together. Like this apartment
That's what
stuff.
I was thinking.
I'm like,
Yeah, I
this
like
is
that way
boring.
too.
Mm-hmm.
It
Like I
definitely
want to see what the '80s dude was gonna pick. Like,
was like on like Mr. Steak and
Well,
Eggs.
speaking of the 80s, we had an in-depth conversation earlier where Cassandra still doesn't see the logic of this. But do you think that Haley opened the door up for miscommunication, or do you think Jacob was wrong? Start from the beginning, though, not when they got home and Jacob popped off from when it first started.
I think she was wrong because I guess he's saying so. Wasn't he saying like she lied that it was just gonna be just girls?
Mm-hmm.
So it was the other couple and he was the only one that wasn't invited. That's what
Yeah,
happened.
that's what
Oh
he
yeah, I
said.
didn't repeat that. Oh well, I ain't mad at him, but I mean, then again, him and that '80s fetish. What? You got to let that go, bro. That was 30 years ago. That 40 years ago. Like what? What are you doing? And then
4
all
years
the neon lights everywhere. Them little neon lights ain't expensive. I've been in Target. Them like 200 for 6. I was like, oh, he just blowing through money. But did you see in their apartment? He had the little neon by the lamp. I was like, oh, he
He
snuck
did.
something in there.
I thought the little neon room off to the side was cool. I think it gave a vibe. I thought it gave a vibe.
Of course you did.
I mean, he about to be 40.
Okay, well,
Like
I'm
that's some
40. I'm
27.
40 something, but I thought the room was a vibe.
Look, I'm
It was
27.
it was definitely a vibe. I'm
Mhm.
47 plus. Let's just put it like
Right.
I definitely thought it was a vibe, but
Mhm.
I just feel that because they're just is the generation gap is just too big right there. And
Yeah.
he really needs somebody, even if somebody was in their 30s, maybe in their early to mid 30s, a little closer in age, they
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
could appreciate it, some of the things that he had. I mean, he talking about members only. Now, that members only Jack, I would look at him like, really? Where'd you get that thing from? If my husband still had a members only Jack, I'm like, so what you gonna do with that? Can you even fit
Right.
that? Like, nobody
Right.
wears that now. What are you gonna do? You gonna sell it? Like, what
Right.
do you have this stuff for? So
Right.
some stuff, yeah, but I just feel I don't think they're gonna work. They're generationally, she can't even she's not an old soul, I guess you can say. She
I get
can't even grasp his thinking on a lot of things. If she can't grasp the 80s and everything else is downhill.
And then her friend kind of negative, so she can't wait next week for.
Oh
I told
yeah.
you it wasn't gonna work. I'm just saying, I told you so, but I
That's
didn't
right,
tell
I
you.
know.
Zephyr.
I wasn't here for the friend earlier, but now I'm here for the friend. I want to see what she has to say because I don't know. I just don't feel Jacob. There's just something about him that I just don't feel.
Well,
I'm
Jacob,
opposite.
he's in IT, and I think in our first video, our first live about Married at First Sight, excuse me, I expressed that I know someone in IT that's like that. He's black, and he's such a nerd in a good way, I guess. They're into their things, like they're stuck in a certain. The same thing is stuck in a time where now this person's not stuck in the 80s, but I mean, he talks about when he used to live somewhere. I'm trying just in case he watches. Like,
Well, you already talked about him. Let it out.
but like he lives in California, and if you ever go to like Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle and blah 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 blah, and I used to go there when I was like in my 20s. Like he's 50 now. Like, but he's a nice guy. I mean, he can hook up your systems and everything else, but there's something about that that just like transformed in one
It's
area.
a nerd thing. It's an IT thing. Most IT
It's
guys
an IT thing, for
act
sure.
exactly like that. But you did see in the beginning when he was talking about his life, you saw what he looked like when he was in school. And then he
Mhm.
started doing bodybuilding and he started kind of, getting his little mojo and feeling himself. So I just think he needs a certain type of person that really appreciates who he is. And Haley is not it.
Mm-mm. No, Haley's not it. She's not it. But I just can't wait to see the house in the daytime because I want to see that backyard. And it gives me Brady Bunch vibes. And that was the 70s. So
Wasn't
what
the 80s the crack era? No, I
Really
really
not.
yes,
He
it was.
lived that.
wasn't it the crack era though?
It was the crack era.
Maybe that's why he wanted to go back.
First of all, I was a young little sugar muffin in the 80s. So don't be
I mean, that's right.
Listen, he ain't seen no crack when he lived that probably. So
Oh yeah,
that's what I was thinking
that's
too.
true.
Like you probably didn't see no crack. But
I
yes,
just knew Pastor Cal was gonna be like, I mean the 80s. I was a
but
bad Mama
I
Jama.
don't see, but I don't see anything wrong with him having like a room or some memorabilia, but he's constantly thinking and talk about it, so that means he's obsessed with it. Really don't have to come across every time he talks like
She was trying at first, though. She was giving head nods and smiles in the beginning, but he keeps talking about it over and over and over again, even at her apartment, still talking about it. Like, oh, those pants, they look like they're from the 80s.
That was killing me. He unrolling stuff. Ooh, let me go in your closet. You know these are from the 80s.
yeah, but that was Karen. She's like, oh, that's my mom. So I was like, wow.
Hey, that Karen thing was funny. I was weak. He was like, "It's something that Karen would wear."
What's he know about a Karen though?
Oh, he know. He know.
Yeah, but I think Jacob has opened up more because I thought it went like Ryan and then Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
It's opened up a whole lot more because he's been upset by his situation, so he's expressing himself more. He's just not like sitting back with that corny look that he had with Haley because I was like, oh, that's awfully corny and like, come here, girl. And I was like, no.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think Haley and Clara they need to switch husbands.
I don't know if that would work though. I don't know.
No, I think Clara could understand Jacob totally because she's so outgoing and she says she could talk about whatever. So I think if he talk about the 80s, she'd be right on it. Yeah, because I remember this, that, the third, and this, and that. And Ryan, he is controlling to a certain extent. So if Haley wants to be on her own, I think he'd be cool with it. All right, go ahead. I'll see you when you get back. I think he'd be cool with it. I just
Right.
think they messed that up.
I'm not sure if Ryan would be cool to just. I don't know. I think Ryan has a little bit of assertiveness. I don't think he would like
Haley's high-strung anxiety attitude.
right, Jacob.
Whoa.
I don't think so. I really don't. Because like I said, the men on the show this season, they're a different crop of men. this season. Like they seriously have their, like I said, their own type of issues, and we've never seen this before. It's normally like the women coming with different baggage, but it's the men this season that has like, I don't know, none of them.
Problems.
I was trying not to say problems.
Well,
Yes, problems. So, what do you think about? Speaking of Claire and Ryan, what do you think about them, Devontae? Or did I already ask you that?
No, I like them. I don't see. Come on, let's go. Um, I like them, but I just don't. I don't know. I just feel like he trying. It's him. It ain't her. Like she ready to go.
I know that's right.
Giselle
She
says, "I
ready to
need
go.
Ryan."
I mean, she literally. You see next week she was saying, what she say? She was like, she backed up.
Yes, just the whole thing. That listen.
Next week, let's just talk about next week's episode.
Sure, let's talk about next week.
That Beyonce thing. I'm floored.
Why would you come on the show? First of all, why does Paige still have Chris's number in her phone? That's what I want to know.
You're not gonna get the answer.
Why is it still on her phone? And why'd you answer? Because he wants a divorce. He's with his ex.
No, but you forgot the most important part that he said in her ear.
What? Tell me again.
He's afraid to fall in love.
Oh, yeah.
That was the funniest thing ever. I was like, what? I was like, and then you seen her face go like,
Right. Was everybody saying like, huh? What? Last night to the TV? Because, I mean, that was ridiculous. But
no, I was like, you know what, whatever, girl, you do you. Until she went to like, you got the luggage. That's when I was like, nah. I was trying to be cool. I was trying to let her do her, but
nah. I had checked out a long time ago. But when he called her phone to say, I just want to know if you want to get together with my fiance to talk. I mean, what are we going to talk about?
I don't understand why he wants that to happen in front of the cameras, but he didn't want us to hear the conversation that he had with Paige, and he wouldn't let them view it. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm not even. That makes no sense to me.
Right.
I mean, I don't understand how that's okay with him bringing his ex in front of the camera talking, and that's okay to be on camera, but his conversation with just him and Paige was not okay.
Right. I mean, unless she came to fight, I don't know what she's there for. Honestly, the fiance. Like, why would you? First of all, this is a MAFS first. You gonna let someone else's potential come on the show to confront the person you set up to be married? Who signed off on this? Who signed off?
Chris, he was like, I'm gonna get you a check, baby. This is my first payment on that child support, please. I just don't get what they talk. Like, what we talking about? Is the fiance gonna apologize, or is, like, I'm trying to figure out? Is she gonna just come up like, I just want to let you know this is my man, this is my family.
Exactly.
Or she gonna tell the truth, like we weren't broke up no 3 months. He got mad and then he said, I'm gonna go find another wife. Like, I just
she might say that. I mean, we'd have to believe her anyways, but I just want to know why they think it's okay to even have her on the show to discuss what. Honestly, like, I'm gonna need my fan. I'm already getting upset about it, and we haven't even recorded yet. I'm already upset because I don't get it. It's wrong. It's insensitive. It's just inappropriate.
But who are they meeting up to talk with? Is it one? Well, did you see? Was it one of the experts? Was it Pastor Cal, Dr. Viviana? It better not be Dr. Viviana from what she said.
I don't think well, they didn't show them meeting together with experts. I think they're just meeting together.
Just regular meeting together? Just because?
We're gonna find out though. We're gonna find out.
I think they need a mediator for that meeting, because it's going to be like 2 against 1. And it's not fair if Paige doesn't have somebody in her corner. That's not, she's setting herself up because first of all, she ain't gonna be able to compete with the baby mama. I don't care what she do, she's
Right.
not gonna be able to compete. So she needs to have her mama, one of her ride or die girlfriends, or somebody sitting at that table with her. She'll need to go to that table just her by herself.
She need to go there with
Watch
somebody with a
Watch it.
detachable
Watch
ponytail.
this. Watch this. You know, Chris said that he wanted me to meet his fiance. What? No, girl, you need to come over here. 6 o'clock. Bring Tisha, Tanisha, Brenda, Barbara, Shirley.
Exactly.
Virginia.
He gonna walk in there like, whoa.
Exactly.
For real.
Like, what's up? What's with the jar of Vaseline?
No, see, they need to be in a room where he don't know they there because you know how he roll. If he sees something ain't right, he don't want to talk on camera. So
Yeah.
I tell him, look, stay in the room. When I
Mhm.
say it's time to go, I want all y'all to come out, and it's gonna be on and popping.
That's too late. Be like, when you hear, "Hey, how you doing?" That's when you come out.
Just rushing.
Get them from jump. How you doing? You know, like that. But that whole thing is going to be a mess. I know we're all going to be upset about it even more than we are now because it can't go good for Paige at all.
Maybe she want to be a sister wife. You never know. I don't know what's
That's
going
what she
on.
said.
I think so too, because like if she just wanted to say that she wants to be a sister wife, just say it. I mean, yeah, some people wouldn't understand, but you know, at least I'd be like, you know what? There might be some logic in this because you want to be a part of this. Because right now she's making it seem like, well, I, want to be with Chris and all this other stuff, but he is in love with the ex because he said it not one time, not 2 times. He said it more than twice. That's all I know, and that's all I need. Because you said it one time to me, like, why am I still here?
I'm about to hit the mute button because that was ridiculous.
I mean, that's true though. It's true. Like, if she just wants to have him in her, just say that. Like, it's just getting ridiculous at this point, and I'm not letting them get to me anymore.
I can't tell.
They do make you mad. They like you be having to pause like, this gotta be
Yeah, I
TV.
had to call a friend. I was so mad last night. I had to call a friend because I was like, is she crazy? Like I was so mad. I told my daughter came over this afternoon and I told her, I was like, listen, if you ever let somebody do this to you, I think I'll kill you myself. Don't let nobody use you like that because
Right.
that's what it is. He's using her, he's manipulating her, and that's
Mm-hmm.
probably how he operates. Just
Yeah,
in general. That's what
I
he
agree.
does.
She just melt every time he don't even be saying nothing that's like, ooh, that was clever. I think I'm gonna fall in love with you. Oh, really? Just like, I don't know.
Right.
But I think she may be like, I got a friend like that. No matter how easy you could take the road, they just gotta take the hard road. They just got to. It don't matter. You be like, this street is perfect. It ain't got no potholes. I like the street with the potholes. I like maybe, tearing up my axle. I don't mind. We can get it fixed. That's how Paige is. She just like streets with potholes.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna let y'all in on the inside of Millennium Mom. We don't watch the show in the same room, just so we can have the different point of view. So when you see our point of views on camera, that's the first time that we're hearing each other's point of view. But I'm
That's good.
though when that happened with Chris and Paige, I think I was a little further in the show because I had to rewind and do my notes, and I'm like, what? And she's like, huh? Wait a minute, what? I can hear it. So I literally paused my show to go up to the living room, like, girl, no, you saw that right. So we have to talk about that because that like you said, Miss Kaylee, like for you had to call your daughter. I had to talk to her too. Like, listen, don't ever put yourself in that situation because your mom. First of all, y'all, I'm really nice. It takes a lot to get to me. But if her situation happened to her, it's crack. me, her big brother, cousins, her 70-year-old grandparents. Everybody's coming out the bushes.
And we calling the one dude that you tell the story about too.
Petey.
Petey.
I may have to message y'all. Be like, listen, we can pay for your flight down, but you gotta find your way back. Who's in? You know what I'm saying? Like this happening. Yeah, so it's a mess. I don't think it's a sister wife kind of thing. I just think I think it's gonna be to confront Paige. I think that's what it's gonna be.
Lord, don't say that because now I'm getting mad already. Just thinking about that confronting Paige, like the audacity.
Well,
of
you
them
got
to
mad
even
like
do
an
it.
hour later. I don't understand that that
Because I wasn't
situation.
thinking that far. I didn't want to.
Well, millennial and mom. But anyways, so the preview of Clara telling her friends, like we mentioned earlier, how she's never seen him with her shirt off. Like I said, so she never saw him outside at the beach or at the beach at the casino or at the pool or coming out the shower. Like she's never seen that, and she's hot in her pants now. Well, you need to talk to Ryan, right?
Yeah, I don't
You know,
get it.
Ryan
How
don't
she
like
ain't
you
never
talking
seen.
about it.
I don't see how. I'm like, dang, y'all ain't never changed in the same room. Like, do he sleep in the same stuff?
I mean, men, they take their shirts off. It's not like, it's different for men, for women. So I'm surprised that she's never seen that before. But again, like what Miss Kayla said earlier, I think she's sexually frustrated. And that's her thing. I think she, like I said, she moves faster in relationships than Ryan. And so, like you said, she wants more of the boom boom. She's not trying to get like little, maybe a peck here.
Like, I ain't married this black man for nothing. I'm trying to see what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Holding back. What is you doing? I could did this with Tom. Okay, Tom, take it slow. I was trying to get dog out in Vegas. Okay,
That's why Pastor Cal was like, I know what you mean. I'm like,
she wanted to be in a wheelchair. That's what she
You know what? I'm about to cut your mic too. You're
she ain't come to play.
What else you got?
that was it for me with them because
It's
it's
a mess. It's a mess. I just really hope that I'm jumping ahead of myself, but I hope that next season is redeemed, that they go back to what MAFS used to be. But I've heard other people say, like, since they started this president, that it will continue to bring in a different type of audience. But I don't know. I don't.
I seen in Australia
like
two
it.
women got married.
That was
in
last.
Australia.
Oh, that was last year?
Yeah.
That was Australia
Yeah, I'm
last
surprised.
year.
Yeah, how they gonna do Atlanta and not have one gay couple? That threw me all off. I'm like, y'all in the gay capital of the world and they have one?
That's a good
No
question.
way. Ain't no way.
Yeah,
I
you
think they
right.
should incorporate that anyways going forward. I mean, everything is diverse now, so you might as well throw it in. Why
Do you
not?
know how that would have been if Chris would have been doing that and then they would have,
I'm for real.
I could have just been seeing the ooh child. I could have just.
I think last year was the best season. I think they had the best couples. And I mean, they had couples that was seriously looking to get married. They had more mature couples, and they did all of it during the midst of the pandemic. I think it was so much better last year.
Yeah, I think they had the most success last year.
Look at Miles and Karen. They shocked me. I was like, I can't believe nothing the camera say. Now I don't know. Maybe Paige. Maybe it's Paige. You never know. Watch. It's go. I feel like they about to flip us. It's about to be something crazy.
I don't think my heart could do it. I don't think I'd be able to review anymore.
Do you know how challenging it is to review a show like this where they're on for 2 hours and then to record, to like break it down so small? As frustrated as we are, that's hard to do. But if Paige flips the script,
yeah, y'all do a real good job, because I'd be like, how they be getting that review done in 27 minutes? Every other YouTube be 54, 55.
That's mom right there. She be wanting to wrap things up.
Because,
I'm like, hold on. I still got something to say.
Because I like to talk about specific points. I don't think you have to talk about every little thing they do in the episode, because I think that's redundant. You know what I'm saying? I just try to pick up the topics for me. But if they flip the script next week, I know we're on Pacific time. We may have to go live. We may have to go live.
No, I'm not going live in Atlanta.
Well, I'll go live by myself.
If y'all go live, I'm probably at work that day.
I'll wait for y'all to wake up. I'm still gonna be on live. I'll call out the next day. Like,
y'all see, I was so mad. I had to hit y'all up on Instagram. I was like, oh, I can't even type. Let me record. They got a.
I thought that was cute.
And my voice. They need to hear it.
I did. That was cute. I saw that. But yeah, well.
Yeah, I agree. If the next season is like this, I don't know if I will be able to take it because I thought Michael and Brandon and all of them was stressful.
Yeah.
This is on a whole nother level of stressful. It's just too much for me.
Well, we have to bring it to everyone who watches our channel, so we'll be recorded. At least I'll be recorded. But let's just hope that it's not. They do better because this wasn't it. This whole the experts need to come on TV and be like, you know what, we failed, y'all. We failed, and take the L because this is not it. You just like I said, this show is taped in advance. We saw what happened in previews weeks ago, so they're trying to convince us that they didn't know what was happening until now. I don't buy that. I just don't buy that part. I don't.
And then Twitter be having all the details. They know people be like 9 episodes ahead. I can tell you who broke up. Like, why you already know that? This
I
is
know.
too.
Right. No spoilers if we can. No
I want to
spoilers.
see so bad. I'm like, nah.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying that's how they be though. I don't. That's why I like when the show coming on. I gotta stay off Facebook until I get off at midnight on Wednesdays because
Right.
the Married at First Sight groups be going. I can't believe.
Right.
I'm just like y'all need to calm down. They're a little creepy in them groups though. Like they still be posting Imani and all them, and they be congratulations. They got a dog. Like what? The season is over. Why y'all stalking them like that? That's a little weird. Like,
right. I agree. Well, there's nothing really to hold our hats on this season, so we still got to stick with Amani and Woody and all them.
No, I'm good.
Well, I'm just saying, where's a million?
I like Amani and Woody. I'm not a fan of Miles' wife. Karen. I'm not a fan.
Yeah. I have to agree. I have to be honest too and say that I'm not really a fan of it either. I think that you say how you feel. And like if it wasn't for the pandemic, she said that they wouldn't have been together, but somehow they continued on. Of course, there's things we don't see off camera and maybe she grew to love or like him or whatever the case may be, but I don't know. I still don't necessarily see it, but they're having success right now. So congratulations on their success. But did y'all hear about Michael? Michael engaged or married to somebody too. And I was like, and they have a kid. The person he's with already has a child. And I was like, okay, Michael, hopefully this is the right relationship for you.
Now about to get toe up. He gonna be sitting there crying. I was adopted too.
I hope he got therapy because he really needed some therapy. Like,
guess that kid already got a car with low miles from what he said.
Don't work at a yoga studio. We could go on and on.
What to say that Honda had 20,000 miles? I knew he was lying. I knew it. I was like, that mileage ain't add up right. I was like, it was a little too clean.
Nothing ever added up.
Huh?
Nothing ever added up. And then he was mad at you because you called him out on it. It's like, wait, hold on.
I don't know. I ain't seen nobody go hard for him like Cliff. Cliff went hard for him. I was
He
like,
did.
that's your cousin?
Right.
Like, real.
It's nothing worse than somebody that lie over dumb stuff. He was lying on stuff he didn't have to lie about. And that's what made him the worst. I mean, it's almost like, is Michael your real name? Like, you just lying just to be lying. That's just.
But you know what? The thing that stood out for me for that season with Michael was, it's okay if you was the janitor. It's okay.
Right.
But speaking of, here he comes. Cliff is going to come up next. Hold on, Cliff. It's okay, but
Cliff about to come here. I didn't defend him for
if you don't really work at the yoga studio Just say, hey, yoga studio, I got free passes. Don't say you the instructor, because I'm expecting, and for them to come up there, she comes up there and they're like, who? That weren't cool. That's why I'm like, so let me bring on Cliff since you talked him up.
Hey, I talked him up.
Hey, Subby 13.
Why,
How you doing?
why y'all trying to raise my blood pressure? Why y'all trying to raise my blood pressure?
That's Devontae. I'm putting
I
my
heard
finger.
him.
That's
I heard him.
Devontae.
I heard him. Listen, man. Michael had his issues, but Mika was no walk in the park. I don't care what nobody say. That girl was tragic. She was horrible.
Yes.
I don't
She
like
had her
her.
moments too.
I still love Michael and Brandon, them my people. And Paige is right there. She knocking on the door, being right there with them. I like her.
Cliff,
like
I feel like you just like the dark side. No matter, you don't care if he murdered nobody. You just be like, he only murdered them because they was there. If they would have left early, like
you know what it is. People are quick to jump on certain people cases, right?
mm-hmm.
And I don't think they sympathize or step back and look at the picture. Even if we take Chris, when it came to the first couple of episodes. Yeah, thank you. When it came to the first couple of episodes, I wasn't mad at his reasonings of the things he was doing. When he did the I'm still in love with my ex, then that put him in the form of how I felt about Katie. See, I can't be mad at Katie and not be mad at him. I'm not a hypocrite. So once he said he was in love with his ex, it's like, okay, but I wasn't gonna be mad at him for being like he's not attracted to him. Everybody and their mom is like, how dare he? He's not that handsome. It doesn't matter if he's the ugliest thing in the world. If he's not attracted to her, he's not attracted to her. And I think people are just not fair. So that's why with certain people, yeah, I do find myself defending certain people.
That's cool. I see what you mean. And Katie got drug over here because Cassandra wasn't into Katie at all. And she did tell the experts that before she got married. She just came out of a relationship. So I see what you mean by that. But Cliff, how do you, I'm not saying that you support, but how do you get behind Chris, especially in this episode, going to Chicago before he even got to it?
Once last episode happened, I was like, nah. Once he said he was still in love with his ex, that was a problem for me. Like that was my whole problem with Katie. Is she came on the show saying she's in love with her ex. Mm-hmm. That's a problem. It wasn't like with Christina. Yeah, Christina had a relationship not that long ago, but she wasn't saying she was still in love. That's why I didn't have a problem with Christina, even though some people made an issue of it. Once Chris said he was in love with his ex, that changed the dynamic for me. I still don't think he's a bad person. He just do stupid things. And he's not, why won't you just say he do stupid things? Sometimes he's not, what's the word I'm looking for? He don't take accountability for his actions. And part of that I look at is that he's young, he's 27. And I try to look back when I was 27 and certain actions I did. Even when you take last week when he got upset. 27-year-old Cliff would have been worse than that. I'd curse everybody out. Go get your man. If he gangsters, whatever. Like I would have been off the hook. The table scene, it wouldn't have been no hold me back. I would have went across the table. Because you could be ignorant. When you're young, you could be ignorant. You could be wild. So it's like I look at him, like to me, I look at him kind of not a baby, but like he a youngin' to me. So I don't expect him to do certain things or have it all together. The same way I feel about the girl that drank, I give her certain leeway too. Because to me, she still have to grow. Like that's why I said I don't feel nobody in their 20s should be on this show.
I was just getting ready to say that. What you think about them being on the show then? And you just answered the question.
Nah. Yeah, I've been saying that since Brandon and them season. If you in your 20s, you don't belong on this show. Right. You still figuring out yourself. And like I don't, and I know everybody is getting on page of why she's still holding on. Like I even have a problem with everybody getting on her. Like, don't get me wrong, I want her to go, right? But it's like, how many women I've heard throughout the years say they stayed with a man who cheated on them. So if you ever been in that type of situation, you should have sympathy, because her reasoning is about her marriage. I understand she just met him, but to her, marriage is everything, and she probably feel like a failure if it don't work. So that's why I don't look at her bad in this moment, and I understand her.
But you know what, Cliff? When I think of that, I mean, I told them I've been married almost 30 years, so we've been through some things. My thing is this: when you have history with somebody, that allows you to forgive when somebody does something like that, if you choose to do that, because you have history with that person. It gives you a little bit more fortitude, a little bit more empathy, a little bit more compassion, because y'all have history together. You don't have history with him. And he has not given her any reason why she should forgive him.
But it's also her, but what everybody is missing, I get that part. It's her religious belief. And when your faith is strong, you can shake your head, but if that's how she feels, that's how she feels. We can't tell nobody how they feel about their religion and what they feel is right.
I agree with that when it comes to their religion, but one thing I will say, God ain't putting her in that position like that. You know, that's for one, the things that he's doing, the way that he's treating her, whether he's young or not. Like you said, he's not taking accountability. And I don't feel that
I disagree with that too. God put you through. God put you through rough things so you can learn. So God just don't give you everything that's great. He doesn't do that. Is nobody on this earth that's going to have a great time throughout. God put hard things there. You listen to the story of Job. God knew he was a God-fearing man, but he let the devil do things just to prove to the devil you can't change him. Like I said, I just love Paige. I love her personality. I hope this don't change her and turn her into a monster. I'm not mad that she's not screaming and cursing and carrying on. If I was her, I would just say, hey, I'm done, and keep it pushing. But I understand why she's holding on. I wish she wouldn't. When somebody say, yo, they in love with somebody else, she can't compare to that other woman. He got history and a baby. It's hard to fight that. Now, I do agree with Pastor Cal when Pastor Cal said you broke up with her for a reason.
Good. I think my underlying issue with Christopher is it seems like everything he does is on purpose. It just seems like there's a malicious thing behind it, because I knew people like this. They just did it just because they knew they could, because they can. You can tell from the smirk on his face. You can tell from all his interactions. And I did have a little bit of empathy for Paige, because I'm like, well, maybe, she's been through some things, like a little bit of the victim mentality. But when it's only been 8 days to a stranger you just met, and you're already recognizing that what is happening isn't okay. She's over here cussing on the phone, saying F this, F that B, whatever. Why is she still trying to go through it just because he said, oh, I think I'm gonna fall in love with you? I don't want to, I am falling in love with you, for it to even kind of be, some sweet talk in my ear. But he's not even giving her that. So that's where my empathy with Paige, especially this episode, kind of went out the window. Unless we see something different, it's not registering for me right now for Paige.
Like I said, I get what you're saying. I still feel for her. I don't feel that the experts
Mm-hmm.
I don't really fucking care what they say. Well, maybe it's not them. Maybe it's production. But the fact that the ex is coming on the show,
Right.
is crazy to me. The fact that, like, Chloe says something on her channel, what me and her was discussing it. She said the experts never tell somebody they should leave. The only time they told somebody to leave was on decision day, and that was the Brandon situation, and they was out of pocket for that one. But
no, that's not true. That's not true, Cliff. Last season, they told Mindy, Dr. Viviana told Mindy to make her decision what she want to do where Zach is concerned. So
she was no. She was happy that she made that decision, but she didn't tell her she should leave or that she should go. That's what me and Chloe was saying. But when she said she made the decision, yeah, she was ecstatic.
But what about when
you hear Pastor Cal say, "Oh, with this relationship, it should be done," but you didn't hear him say that to her, and I had a problem with that. He didn't say it to her.
What about when Luke and that other girl, and it was so toxic? They told, I think they had a conversation with her because she just kept on hanging in there. And the guy it was just so toxic. I really felt for her because
For what? She damaged herself. To me, she was a victim of herself. Like, that's a little different. Luke wasn't holding back that he wasn't feeling her, and she came out her own words. She said he have sex with me to make me happy. So she knew he didn't want to have sex with her. So I didn't have sympathy for her, and I didn't feel like Luke was the bad guy in that situation. Because I went back to watch that season because I kept hearing how bad Luke was. I watch it, but how am I get mad at somebody that's basically pleading with somebody to sleep with them? And he does. How am I mad at that?
Devontae, do you have anything to
add? So are you saying like because they like in their 20s, like this why Chris doing this? Because I feel like, I mean, I'm the same age as them, and I'm not doing nothing like that. Not saying that we all the same, but I'm saying even that you being young, you got some type of sense. If you got some type of training, especially if he come from two background parent household he come from, for him to act like that, I don't know, to treat a woman like that, especially on TV, like she like.
Let me ask you a question.
How she gonna come back from this?
How long you been with your Devontae? How long you been with your own wife?
It's gonna be like 5. It's gonna be 5 years.
So most of your 20s you was with your wife, so it's a little different. But I'm pretty sure there might be a couple of girls that you dated that might have a different opinion of you because y'all didn't work out. Maybe not. But what I'm saying is the way I'm 40 years old, right? So I'm not 27. So right. 27 is a little distant from me. To me, 27 is still a baby. Right. You still learning yourself. You're not gonna look at it like that until you're somewhere in your mid 30s. Right. Because you're in your 20s now. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying what Chris is doing is right. I'm just saying in your 20s you make a lot of dumb moves. The same way I'm saying about the drunk girl. What's her name? What's the drunk name?
Virginia.
Virginia. Like, to me, he's going to have to grow with her and hope she gets to a certain level. She's not just going to get there in an instant because she's married. Because she's still learning herself.
I have something to say about that, though. So that's true, because I say it all the time to both of my kids. Yeah, you're in your 20s. I think that, yeah, you're grown, but I don't think you're like grown to make far and few mistakes in between. You're like 30. But if you are 20 something, just like Brianna's 20 something, Haley's 20 something, they clearly have taken different paths in life. They clearly have. The maturity level is different. They're in the same peer group, regardless if they're a year or two apart. They're in the same peer group. And you have the party girl, Virginia, and you have Paige that's on her whatever's happening, and then you have all the other ladies they're just on different pages and different stages of their life. It's exactly what Eric said. Even though you're not, I understand that you haven't made it to this certain part of your life, but that, he understands and wants to work with it. So you can't necessarily put everyone in their 20s in the same bucket, because I can speak for that from experience myself. I was a young mom. I knew real early what I wanted, and I knew real young that I didn't want to continue to be there. Versus my two kids, my oldest is 28, Cassandra's 24. I mean, they went on two different paths. I mean, she was more career oriented, whatever, versus my son took him a long time to turn it around. My son was just as not out there like a Chris. He weren't doing none of that because he had me to come home to, but he was just a immaturity thing. Like always, I call it having your lip poked out. Meaning that's how you get mad. You just constantly like huffing and puffing. I call it poking out your lip, poking out your chest. It's just something that you're either a mature 20-something-year-old or you're not. And that is for in your 30s, in your 40s. I'm on the road to 50. Trust me, I've met people 50 and older who still act like they're 20. And I am turned off by that. So sometimes I think, just because you get older as the years go by in age, the number turns up. But where's your mental status at? So you can't just throw everybody in like, oh, well, you're still growing. Yeah, he's young, but so are the other ladies on the show too. So are they. So we can't just say like, oh, because he's making this mistake. And
you see issues with all of them except for Paige. I mean, well, you could say Paige too. Which one of them, anybody that's in their 20s, I could point out a problem with all of them.
No, that's
from
what
Brianna
I said.
on. Right.
No, that's what I said, Paige too. But still, there's you could be a mature 12-year-old girl versus boy. It just depends on where you are, like what your thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I understand that point.
Okay.
I get what you're saying. That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's what I mean by that.
I just, like I said, there's certain things with Chris, and I saw it when they was where was they? The honeymoon. And when she was trying to tell him, he offended her, and he's telling her he's not. He didn't get that. Yes, you are. If this person feels like you offended him, then that's what it is. But he didn't have the awareness to know it. So it's just certain things I see in him. I'm like, he ain't get there yet, or he lacking. Now, like I said, I love Paige, so I don't like the way he's maneuvering with Paige at all. Mm-hmm. And for me, I don't care who it is. If you come on this show, you should not be in love with somebody else. That's just like, come on.
Agreed.
And that's my biggest gripe with him. Not him thinking she's ugly, not him sleeping with her. That right there.
Right, but this falls back to the experts, the 3 different experts, vetting process. What were the questions? What were
the psychologists that we now know of?
What was on these questions to get past these experts to put you on the show to be like, you're ready. This person, we're not talking about anyone in specific. This person is ready to be on the show to be married. Like, you can't fool everyone.
I'm starting to believe they don't care.
I mean, even
I know there's a lot of questions because I think I told you my friend tried to do the show. So there's a lot of questions from speaking to her, and they do a call back and call you and talk to you some more. Mm-hmm. But the way the dynamic is, it was like one couple, I don't remember who it was. One was an atheist and the other one was a Christian or something like that. Like, why would you put them together? That's the explosion.
How does that even work?
I think this show is so stuck into opposites attract.
Yeah.
They literally stuck onto this opposites attract thing, but sometimes opposites it's too far. We too far left, she too far right. We just can't. I don't know.
I agree, Devontae. It's not. I'm seeing red flags. You're looking for, at least they come across that they're looking for persons who seriously want to be married in a relationship. When a man says on national TV, I want this, that, and the third, and I want her to be a freak, and he's laughing, to me, he's not taking this seriously. And if I If I was one of the, experts, I would seriously question that, because how serious is he? This is not a fun and games, because you're dealing with people's emotions, their feelings, their hearts. So for you to say that, that's not funny. Not in a
I'm a
serious.
little Kayla, could you explain that? So you I was just wondering, so you saying the comment with when he said he want a submissive freak, you think it was a problem with that comment?
I think at the time it was, because it's one thing, everybody wants something. When you're dating, excuse the noise, that's my dogs. When you're dating, everybody wants somebody that's good looking. You want somebody, okay, I want somebody that look like Denzel. I want somebody that look like this and that. But that's not reality. You're going on the show talking about what you want. Okay, I want a freak. But really, what I want is somebody this, that, and the third. Now, maybe it could have a lot to do with the production. And the producers, they played that part just to get people to watch it. But I know when I saw him, I said, oh, they're not going to pick him. And then when I saw they picked him, I was like, what the heck? So I just feel that certain things, and I get what you're saying, Cliff, when you in your 20s, well, I've been married since I was 22 and I'm over 50 now. So I get that. When men or young guys are in their 20s, some have a lot more maturity to go. I get that. But at the same time, marriage is a serious thing. And granted, it is a reality TV show. I understand that. But let's be real. If you really want somebody like that, and that he told them, did they know that he was just engaged? Like, I don't think they should allow people that just got out of relationships to be on the show.
Agree. I think they should be out of a relationship at minimum 1 year before they come on the show. That's what I think. So, but that's just me. So, Cliff, you got your explanation. What do you think about it?
I couldn't hear you.
I said she gave you the explanation. Have anything else to say about what she was trying to describe?
Now I don't totally agree, but I get what she was saying. But I understand what she was saying, because I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have said the same thing. But that's part of the traits I would want in a mate, somebody submissive. Obviously, you would want, as a man, especially a young man, someone with a high sex drive. I don't see it no different than Brianna saying she want a man with a big magic stick.
We're gonna find out.
I didn't get to speak to you guys. Oh, here go the devil.
Go ahead and say it. Go ahead.
How did y'all feel about? Because I didn't get to speak last week about the incident with the drunk couple.
Eric and Virginia.
We talked about that.
Chris.
You mean at the?
I wasn't on your show.
At the dinner? At the dinner, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was wondering how you felt about that.
I felt that Eric had every right to pop off on Chris because Chris is now over it and he want to apologize and wants to move forward. You can't control what someone else is still feeling 8 hours later. So whatever energy you bring, that person will bring the same energy back. So that's how I felt about it. Mama, how did you feel about it?
I mean, I think that Chris helped the situation out, not in his favor, by continuing to say one before they got in the van, like, I'm gonna create hell in the, on the way home. So I think that he gave it too much energy. But I also think that Eric should have said something at the time it was happening, to like pull his wife away, be like, don't talk like this to my wife. And even what's his name, Ryan, should have did the same thing for his wife too, and he didn't do that. So for Eric to come back to the table, even though they came back late, for that to come out, I think it may not have been at the right time. I think maybe they should have pulled each other apart. But Eric was drinking at the same time. But remember, Ryan said that Chris apologized to everyone at the table. I don't think Chris would apologize to Eric, though. I really don't. I just think that conversation happened a little too late, because one of the triggering words for Chris is man up. Because that's what Eric kept saying, man up. And, I think Chris thinks like he's calling him on his manhood with that. And I think that's what triggered the rest of that conversation, like what you want to do when they stood up to leave. So Chris, like you said, it comes down to a maturity issue with any conversation, to be honest. And I don't think he likes Eric anyways. So I don't, so whatever Eric had to say, I don't think it would have been a pleasant conversation. So, hey, Chloe, how you doing?
Hey y'all, what's going on?
Hey, what do you have to say?
Well, I just came to join in the chat. I'm just saying, Chris is young, but he not dumb. He know exactly what he doing. Okay, he's manipulating her in the situation, and it is what it is. He knows. Like that whole lean over on the couch, whisper in her ear, "I'm afraid to fall in love with you." Since when? Stop playing with us. Like, I'm not stupid.
Right.
He young, but he not dumb. So that young excuse, that goes out the window. Just like Virginia. She's young, but she's not dumb. Like, you falling asleep on some random man couch, even if that is your best friend, like, come on. Make sense.
She can't. That's why she's trying to push so hard. Like, he's trying to control me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's the case. I don't think he's trying to control her. I think he's trying to redirect her to see what's really going on, because he has a job where he probably can't do half the things he did on his honeymoon. You know what I'm saying? And she's still out there partying, kicking it. And he's like, wait a minute, this is going to come and hurt my pockets. Because if he's still in the military, reserves or not, you just can't do certain things, period. You just can't do it. They're going to kick you out or reprimand you for something. You can lose your stripes or whatever the case may be. So that's how I look at that.
I just think that when it comes to Eric and Virginia, like he said, age is not the problem. It's the way she acting. Like,
yeah,
she acting like Virginia's young, but she's not like 21. She didn't just turn 21 yesterday. Like,
right.
She's pushing 30. Like, come on now. You need to know, there's a time and a place for everything. She needs to know better. At this point, I just can't with Virginia. Like, Virginia, I think, works me the most. Because it's like, how do you get mad because he wants you to let you know, like, he wants to you to let him know where you're at. Like, if you got there, okay. Like, why are you mad? After, like, I don't see her changing. I don't even see her wanting to change or the growth to change. It's like, this is just me and that's just that. And it's like, how? Why did you get married then?
But she needs time to grow. Like, you saying age, like her age don't matter, but it does.
But it really
like
does.
she's 20.
No,
Chloe, you're 30, right, Chloe?
I'm 30. I'm 30.
Okay. I promise you, when you're 40, you're going to look at stuff you did at that time differently. Or even what you're doing now, and you will be like, when you're 40, damn, I would have handled it differently.
You know something, Cliff? I didn't sign up to be on Married at First Sight to, marry a whole individual because I'm ready for love. If you so ready for love, then you need to separate the two. You so ready to be in a marriage, your marriage and your friendships are two totally different things. You're not ready to be in a marriage. You're not ready to be married at first sight if you want to still go hang out with your friends Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, no. You talking about you need a long time and marriage, understandable. But you need days. He's going for 15 days out of the month. How many days do you need alone? And you want to be married.
But
it don't make sense.
I get that. I get that. But when but this is what Eric said. She don't have the relationship experience like he do. So to me, she just sound like a person who ain't never really been in a relationship and know how to move. And now, like,
that's a lame excuse. That's a lame excuse. You cannot use that as an excuse. I just didn't know what I was doing because I'm young and dumb. No. You know what marriage is.
Right.
Period. Whether your parents' marriage worked or not. You know what marriage entails. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. And she just wants to do what she wants to do. That's it.
Right. You can't be that young if you decide you get married at first sight on national television. You can't be that young if you actually want to be married. No one goes and say, oh, I want to be married so bad I'm going on Married at First Sight and I really don't want to be married. No one does that.
Have you watched the 10, 12 seasons of Married at First Sight? Yes, they do.
You talk about opportunity.
It's a bunch of couples who's a mess.
I don't think she's an opportunity. I think she just I don't know what Virginia is, honestly. She works my nerves because it's like you can't use I'm young. Because has been young people who came on this show and have successful marriage. Keith and Christine were young. Jeffy and Shanice were young. All these people were young, so that's not an excuse. When you sign up to be married, no matter what age,
Jeffy and Shanice's marriage was horrible at first, and it took them time to grow.
Yeah, but was they acting like this?
Sonny cheated on her. What you mean?
Shanice said that they was. And let's not act like they the only couple that ever been cheated on. Okay,
that's not. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that they young and they should. To me, they shouldn't be on the show.
Age ain't got nothing to do with cheating. So that's
big facts. No, I give you that. I give you a point for that. Big facts. But what I'm trying to say is they don't know how to move. She doesn't know. You can listen to the girl and tell she don't know how to move in a relationship. The fact that when he calls her to check up on her is a problem to her lets you know she don't know how to move in a relationship.
That's what we're talking about.
Exactly. But that also goes with her experience. Like your experience and her experience is different. You got married young, so your relationship game is on 100. Hers is not.
I've been dating my husband since I was 23.
Exactly.
And when my
that's not her life.
23, I knew that when I married him, there were going to be things that need to be changed. Why? Because when you get married, those things change. You can't come and decide you want to get married, but not want to change nothing. That's the whole point. The point is when you marry someone, everything in your life suddenly changes. You move in with them. You're dealing with their emotions. You're dealing with your feelings. You're dealing with your children, jobs, finances, everything. So you can't act like you want to be married. But then when it comes to be married, you like, I don't know what's going on. I didn't sign up for this. Yes, you did. You did. You literally did.
So Chloe, let me ask you a question. You got married, you said at 23. So are you telling me that
no, I didn't get married
there was nothing? I mean, you was with him at 20. I know y'all was married. For y'all been together for 10, married for 3. I got it. What I'm saying is, are you telling me there was no issues, whether it was him or you? Y'all had to pull the other teeth to get them to cooperate or change on an issue.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I've been through a lot, but when it comes to being in a relationship and being married, I knew then that certain stuff had to stop. When I moved in with my husband, when we were 23, 24, I wasn't going out to the club every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday like I was doing before I moved in with him. Mm-hmm. So, like, you just know that certain stuff has to change. She's not even trying to compromise or willing to. She just wants somebody to fit into her little party circle. Like, oh, he's going to come hang out with us. I want him to come drink with me. He can't do that. So where do you find the balance at, Virginia? Then you tell the man, say, oh, I need time by myself some days. Hopefully it's when you're gone. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You live with someone. Yeah, you want to go in a room and read a book? Different. You talking about you need a whole day to do what? Go sleep on that man's couch that you passed out on last
night? Like I said, she's wrong. I get that. But it's a different. For you to say her age don't make a difference. I just don't agree. If I'm dating mom, I don't expect certain issues from mom that I'm going to have from a 20-something-year-old because mom been there, done that.
Understandable, but at the same time, she signed up. That's all I'm saying. She signed up for this. It didn't just happen.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I get that.
I do, and you too. You know, it's always going to be it sounds like an age thing for you, Cliff. You know, like she's young. But yeah, we understand she's young. Like a lot of these people who come on the show, season 1 through 12. Like I said, I've seen them all. But the point is, again, for me, if you're going to come on Married at First Sight, you're supposed to come on to be married for the happily ever after, not the, I'm married, but I still want to be single, live boyfriend, girlfriend, because that's exactly what Eric is trying to say. So we're just gonna have to agree to disagree with that clip because we see that you're on that age thing and you're not coming off of it. But I get it.
Right. But don't get me wrong. I get what y'all saying, and I agree with Eric. I've just said it's going to be a struggle because she got to get to where he was at. I even remember Darlinda saying in one of her live, I believe not her live, her video, that she dated somebody older. I don't know if it was her husband or whoever, and being that she was younger, he had to wait for her to get on his level because her mom was still young in certain areas.
Let me throw out something personal, and then we're gonna move on to the next topic because we go all day about this. So, all right, so I'm in my late 40s now, right? And I'm not saying anything's wrong with this. I would like someone in my, but for some reason, people 10 years or older like to talk to me, right? And that's cool and all, but there's a but to this. You know, because I'm not gonna say younger children in their 20s, you know, there's some rap that I listen to. I love me some neo soul, you know, stuff like that. I like to go to a lounge. I mean, y'all know where we live, so that's what we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
This man, he said he was he said he was 65. Now that is
Lord,
years older than me, right? That's fine, right? And let me tell you, he looked like never mind, because he might be watching. So he told me, he met me, because I work for the government, right? So he told me, you know, I want to take you out, but I want to take you to the Pancake House. We don't have a Waffle House out here. We have the Pancake House.
right.
So like, that's cool. So in the first 3 days of meeting this man, he wanted to FaceTime me. He wanted to do all these things. Now, I work with a lot of people during the day, so I don't have time like that to FaceTime, but I can text, right? So he was constantly on the phone. So he was like, I want to take you to the Pancake House. Fine, but I'll pick you up. Now, there's very few people who know where we live. That's just the way I've always been. Very few. We live in a gated community. I'm like, that's cool. I'll meet you on the other side of the gate. Now, normally, I drive myself places because you never know who you're going to be, right?
That's that old school.
Right. So he wanted to dress up. I'm like, so we dressing up for the Pancake House? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm have on my slacks and a nice shirt. I'm thinking, well, and I literally said to him, I'm like, wow, I got to rethink my outfit. Like, the Pancake House, we got to like dress up.
He ain't pull out the gators for the Pancake House, did he?
Right? That's only open till noon. But okay. So I dressed up for the Pancake House. So he's going to pull up in his nice car now, in his 2020 Genesis, pick me up. And, you know, if you smoke, that's cool, whatever. But I don't. So as soon as I get in the car, my eyes started burning. So I'm like this. Right. I don't wear my glasses to read. So
right.
He came off so aggressive, so like he was in his 20s, like groping me the whole time, right? Not cool. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just calm down. You know, maybe it's just me till we get to the Pancake House. Get to the Pancake House, he had to announce, oh, we on a honeymoon. We this. I'm thinking like, who is this man and what have I got myself into? And as soon as we sit down, we order, and he's talking about, so what is it you like to do? I'm like, well, you know, I like me some neo soul. I like me Raheem Devon. I like to go sit at the lounge. He's like, at the lounge. What people like to do at the lounge is have sex and this and that. This is why I don't like to date people under 50. And I'm thinking, you already knew how old I was, right? And he just went on a tangent, this and that, this and that. And he started pointing out people in the restaurants about, look what they have on, look this, that. It was a lot of younger people in their 20s, 30s in there. But he was so convinced that I had my eye on someone else at another table to be on the creep with already. So my point of the conversation is you don't have to be 20. You don't have to be 30, 40, 50. This man was 60 plus acting like he was my pimp or something, trying to direct me what I was going to do, that I was too young. I needed to do this. I needed to be in the house, this and that. It was a wrap after that. You know, like, don't even drop me off at the gate. Like, drop me off at the mall. I'll call someone to pick me up. You know what I'm saying? Kind of. So that's what I'm saying. The age thing is not a factor. Oh, let me tell you what he had on black slacks and a Captain America shirt. So he thought that was dressing up, but what up?
What in the AARP?
I wish I was.
Oh, that was dressing up. Okay.
But now I'm dressed. I had to rethink my outfit, right? And that's what you had on. But the point is, like, he was so into not kind of like a Chris, like telling me what it was he didn't want me to do after 3 days of meeting me, and then gonna tell me what he didn't like a young woman to do. I appreciate you think I'm young in my 40s. I really do. I appreciate that. But his mindset was so out there that it just wasn't adding up at 60 plus is my point. So like I said, again, 20, 30, 40, 50, it just depends on where you are mentally about where it is or how you view life and how you see things. And that's why I said we're going to go back and forth with the she's young, he's young kind of thing. It just doesn't matter. It just depends on who you are. And there's always levels to everything. Common sense, life, everything. There's levels to all that. So let's move on past Eric and Virginia. And Chloe, what do you think about the upcoming preview of that Meet Me with the Ex?
I want to slap Paige. That's what I think. Because, like, why? Why are we even doing this? Like, yo, like, how desperate do you need to be? He's getting divorced from you to be with her. What do y'all have to talk about? Nothing. It's been 7 days. You have nothing to talk to her about. You have nothing to talk to him about. Like, what you about to do? Play stepmom? Y'all about to be sister wives? Like, tell me what the deal is, and then I can understand. Because if y'all gonna be a one big happy family, then this makes sense to me. But if you're not, I'm confused.
Exactly. So we were saying earlier before you joined, I don't know how long you've been on. Listen, we're already mad. It's already gonna be alive. So expect
y'all know I be going up there live every freaking Wednesday after this show because they be stressing me out.
I see it. Because you're East Coast time, so we see it after it goes off for you. So I like try to like look and see what other people be talking about.
They crazy. Like the whole cast is like crazy. I just don't understand why she's like begging this man to be with her. Like, why is she crying? Like, oh, he didn't even give us a chance. He did for what? Like, girl, let that go. Why are you standing looking at him drive off? Like, what is going on? I was just sitting here like, ooh, the desperate, the begging. It's a lie. Like, at this point, she like, I thought it'd be clean cut, dry, done. But now I just don't know if we're really done. What about this? Don't you know? Like, Lord, girl, I need you to go in the corner and praise Jesus. Because at this point, he's the only one that's going to get through you. Because she crazy.
And you know what? One of our commenters today said the whole episode today should have been named accountability. And I agree.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. Accountability. So, it's a mess. And
I'm here for it.
Like I
said, you and mom could be on the team. I think I'm about to tap out real soon because it is getting too much.
Well, you know what? Me, I like reality TV, the good and the bad, the ratchet and the classy. So at this point, I categorize it into my little ratchet, category and just call it what it is. So this on the same level as like Housewives for me. So I'm enjoying it. It don't matter either way. It's just pop, but I enjoy it.
It's different, but
Chloe, you know what the difference is? At least with the Housewives, they admit to their ratchetness. That's what I like about them. Is no secret. They know, okay, this is some crazy stuff. You watch Basketball Wives. They know. They do not lie. They know where they stand at.
Yeah.
And I could deal with that. But this, I feel that none of them, at least Chris and Paige, they're just not being accountable for their actions. Neither one. I think that's a huge, huge problem.
No, I totally agree. It's kind of like, I know, like, the only part about this that's different than most reality TV shows that makes us so mad is because they legally married. It's not for fun, it's not for play, it's not for fake TV. Like, you literally marry someone with the intentions for them to spend the rest of their life together. So I think that's why everyone gets so mad about it. So once I remove that factor, it's all fair game for me. I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, I hate the fact that they're really playing with people's feelings.
Yeah.
that's what sucks so much about the way the show is going as Married at First Sight. Because it's like we expect love. We really want the pure effort that the experts put in to see it outplay and happy endings. But like just knowing like at this point, like the direction is going in, it's kind of like that's what's turning people off. So once you disconnect the reality of the fact that they really married, then it just becomes regular reality TV.
Gotcha.
And depending on where they live at, depending on where they live at, it'll take them forever to get the divorce because I just saw Keith that was from 2 seasons ago. He just got the divorce in August, summer passed. And he said in North Carolina, they had to stay married for a year before it could be finalized.
Wow.
So he was still legally married to Iris?
But they couldn't separate?
They weren't living together, but just legally, they were still married, and he could not get
Charlotte, you guys be separated for a year.
So that's the sad part. So depending on where you live at, you got to be connected to this joker for who knows how long.
That's the sad part about it. Unfortunately, like that's the part that makes everyone mad because they really playing with people's lives. Feelings, hearts, emotions, families. Like they really they involve everybody into this foolishness. So when it comes out like this, it's crazy. But like I said before in one of my other lives, this isn't the first time we had, a douchebag. Like Matt, Luke, they were bad too. Like they were really bad. So it's kind of like it comes with the territory at some point. Like we just have to accept it for what it is if we're going to continue to watch it. If we not, like every season, there's going to be a villain. There's going to be a bad couple. There's going to be.
That's true.
So it's like you just gotta roll with it. If you're not gonna roll with it, you're either gonna stop watching it or whatever. But at this point, it's another reality TV show. It's not as pure as it was in the beginning, and it's season 12. So like, what you expect now at this point?
So do y'all think somebody can top Chris and being bad?
No,
nobody can top Chris. But like, you gotta think about it. When we got Matt, right? We was like, oh, nobody's gonna top Matt. Then we got Luke. Oh, nobody's gonna top Luke.
I didn't think no one was gonna top Michael.
Yeah, like we just
Hold on. Stop it. He is not the worst on this show.
It's like everybody just keep topping each other. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's no real like every season someone tops somebody else. Like it just is what it is. Next season is gonna be a girl. Even though all girls is crazy this episode. Next year is gonna be the girl that's gonna be like the villain, like Katie was when she was there. She was still dealing with the ex-boyfriend, and Zach had messed with Mindy's friend and then went on a date with Katie. Like it's always some mess. So I don't know why, as Married at First Sight fans, we tend to forget all the mess we just came from, and it'd be like 2 months in between. It's like we just keep coming from mess to mess. That's
You're
all.
right.
I think though the next season, I think that they should allow people that are divorced. I think they should have, and all the couples should have been married before, because that will be a totally different dynamic.
That'll be a twist.
But a lot of older people, and because they're not going to be able to have like young kids.
Yeah, y'all help Mom apply to be on Married at First Sight.
I got you, Mom. Let me sign you up.
Hold on.
You want me to? I'll make the flyer. You want a date, and we're gonna put you on the dating show.
No, I'm good. I had the Pancake House. That was real recent. I'm good. I'm good. But you guys, we're gonna wrap it up. My parents have called me 4 times, so they must before they go to bed in about 7 minutes. I gotta call them. 7 minutes for us is 8 o'clock to go to bed early, so I gotta call them back.
Right.
But we appreciate everybody that's come on. If you don't know, Chloe is also a YouTube reviewer, so go to her channel and subscribe. And anybody else who's in the chat, I think Sass Scales is in the chat. She does 90 Day Fiance and Love After Lockup. She's funny over there too, and anybody else I forgot. But I, even Cassandra's not, will be live
I'll be here next Thursday.
Because we have got to talk about whatever's going to happen with that fiance and her 15 minutes of fame. We have to.
Oh, we all gonna be right there.
Oh yeah, we'll be here. I will be here.
You see
So
what I'm saying?
I know
You
you're
got
gonna be
everybody like,
right.
I'm gonna be here. We love it. Don't act like y'all don't love it. Y'all know y'all love it just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. We do. We do. We do. So we appreciate everybody again. Thank you so much. And if you can join us next week, we'd appreciate it too. Devontae, you can be at work next week and be at home.
I'm gonna be at work on Wednesday. What time y'all doing it?
We try to do it for you guys on the East Coast at least by 8 o'clock because it's 5 here.
Yeah, it don't be nothing going on in my job. It don't matter. I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm East Coast. I'm in Philly, so yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate it so much. Thank you all.
Yes.
All right, have a good night.
Have a good
safe.
night.
Thank
Bye.
you. Take care.
Bye-bye.